All right, guys, we're back. Monday morning quarterback is officially back, and we're here.
May I say one thing?
Go ahead, of course.
In the words of Hank Williams Jr., are you ready for some football?
Oh God, that was always my favorite part of Monday Night Football games. I to this day, I mean, obviously they changed it since then, but growing up, watching the Monday Night Football games, getting the Hank Williams Jr. song, but then also getting the helmets colliding at the end, absolute favorite.
But don't you
Absolute,
think?
absolute
But don't
favorite.
you think that Kelly Clarkson's version of
Wasn't bad.
Joan Jett? I hate myself for loving you
Yeah,
too.
no,
I
it's
can't.
not
I've been
bad.
waiting all day for Sunday night.
Yeah, Sunday night. Then
don't mind
you
that.
had
I
Kelly
like that.
Clarkson, Taylor Swift, right, and Faith Hill, right? Didn't Taylor? I don't know about. I
Oh,
take Taylor back.
No,
Faith Hill, right?
No, Carrie Underwood does the song.
Yeah,
Carrie Underwood. But what about Faith Hill? Didn't she come out too?
she did one.
Oh
She-
yeah.
One year, I think it was Faith Hill,
Yeah. I think it was Faith Hill 1 year, then
and then Carrie Underwood. That's
Yeah.
right. I don't know why I thought Taylor Swift. I got those two.
I don't know
mixed.
why you thought. I don't know why you thought Kelly Clarkson.
You said
I
Kelly
don't know why
Clarkson.
you thought Kelly Clarkson either.
Wait, did I say Kelly Clarkson?
You
or
said
Carrie
Kelly
Underwood?
Clarkson. I just
I
agreed
meant
with you.
Carrie Underwood. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Look, I'm under stress today, okay? I'm under a lot of stress.
So anyway, yes. So we are officially back. We're kicking off the NFL 2021 kickoff. I said kickoff twice. But that's great. Anyway, we have a special guest with us, Juwan from over from Geek Vibes Nation. How you doing today, Juwan?
Good. Thank you both for having me.
Oh, anytime. You ready to talk some
Anytime.
football?
100%.
Yeah, I couldn't wait for. I mean, look, as much as a fan of baseball I am, and the Mets are putting a little bit of a streak together, so I can't. I can dog on them too much, but at the same time, I couldn't wait to talk football. I absolutely love it. You know,
I can't believe they blew that lead Saturday.
but it doesn't matter. Look, because they still won 7 of 8, so I can't complain too much.
I'll take it.
All right. Anyway, so let's go over. We got some topics that we're going to discuss, but first and foremost, obviously, is the upcoming game in just 3 days, Dallas versus the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So those are the two teams that are opening up the season. And then in a little later, we're going to go over some picks that we have, whether it's the divisional winners, wild card predictions, Super Bowl picks, but also I want to talk about some key additions from the teams that are also this current season, because some teams made, whether it was Tampa that just re-signed everybody, or some good acquisitions either in the draft or free agency. Giants made some big moves, getting some really big weapons for hopefully Daniel Jones, or if he is the quarterback this year, which I'm assuming he is, and then of course other teams as well. But
what do you think? Mike Glennon's going to be the starting quarterback this year?
Well, no, I'm saying Daniel went down in injury, so you never know. You don't know who's got to step up. There were rumors, I don't know how true they are, that the Giants were sort of slightly interested in Cam Newton as a backup.
Nah.
As a backup.
We got Mike Glennon as a backup. He ain't that bad.
Yeah, he's all right. Okay, so anyway, let's get down to it. We got Dallas at Tampa Bay. Now, obviously, Dallas last year, their Achilles heel, besides losing Dak Prescott, was their defense. They gave up more points, obviously, than they scored, but they still scored a lot of points, even when Dak was here. Dak was like throwing 500 yards a game, but the defense just couldn't protect the lead. So, and they lost some heartbreakers as well. And then, of course, we all know Tampa went on to win the Super Bowl. And again, they re-signed almost everybody. It's pretty much the same exact team. I think this year, their only weakness is their running game. I don't know how much, nothing against Leonard Fournette, but I don't know how much he's really going to do this year. So, guys, I'll pass it around. Juwan, because you're our guest, let's start with you. If you had to make a pick for Dallas at Tampa, who you got?
I really did enjoy Tampa's defense late last year heading into the postseason. They were like transcendently good.
Yeah.
But Dallas has a top 5 wide receiving core. It's going to hurt them Thursday night losing their all-pro offensive lineman who apparently is out due to COVID. I don't know. Part of me really thinks Dallas has a chance. But it's just, at the end of the day, it comes to I don't trust their defense.
I agree.
I really don't. So, I mean, look, if Dak can get into a shootout with Tom Brady, maybe. But if not, I see Tampa taking it by a large margin Thursday night, especially because their banners dropping, the whole feel of everything could be really bad for Dallas.
Yeah, I agree with you. The home field advantage, it's going to have a playoff atmosphere. It really is. I mean, it's the home opener. It's the celebration of their championship. And also at the same time, it's versus Dallas, which is a formidable opponent.
It's a measuring stick for Dallas.
Yeah.
Because I really don't see that many other juggernauts in the NFC.
Yeah.
I kind of put the Buccaneers right there, right? Just off paper. We got to see them play first. But off paper, they're the lone juggernaut. There's other great teams, but they're the lone juggernaut.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
If you're Dallas and you can make this a game, this bodes well. This bodes really well. You win your division and, you can squeak into the playoffs or whatever the case may be. You give yourself a good shot if you can gain some confidence by knocking off the Super Bowl champs.
I agree. I think it's a measuring stick. I say measuring stick. You use measuring stick as a good point for the Dallas, but it's also a good way to indicate where Tampa Bay is going to go this season as well. They're playing a good opponent. Remember, had they slow start because again, Tom coming into a new offense, new team, new players, they had a mesh, they had a gel, and they did so towards the end of the year. So I'm just wondering as well, is Tampa going to pick up where they left off and go right back to work? Granted, it's the first game of the season. I know every team is rusty, coming off of spring training and or preseason, I should say, and heading into the regular season. But it's also a good measuring stick for where Tampa is as far as, look, they got their core players back. They re-signed them. This is pretty much the same exact team as last year. Can Tom still perform at the level he did at his age that he did last year? Because his numbers were still astounding, especially in the playoffs. His numbers even went higher. They even transcended higher because a lot of people said that their defense carried them, and I do agree to a certain extent they did. But if you look at his numbers, and of course having guys like was it Mike? Not Mike. Is it Mike Williams?
Yeah,
no, not Mike. Is it
on the Buccaneers?
Yeah.
One of their receivers, I believe, is
right, which is a very big target.
This is Mike Williams. I think who you're thinking of is Mike Evans. Mike Williams.
No, Mike Evans. That's who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Evans. I'm sorry. Mike Williams, I think, is on a different team. I think they're on the Chargers.
I think he was on Tampa at some.
I think Williams is on the Chargers now.
Okay.
Because I remember when we were talking about it last night, you were talking to me about Justin Herbert. And I looked up. I wanted to see what other threats he had besides Keenan Allen, and I think Mike Williams came up.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to the point that you brought up about their defense, and that's what I started with by saying, they really kind of caught their stride. I think people forget that Green Bay game was not going for it on a fourth down away from possibly a different turnout. Brady had thrown a pick, I believe, in the first half. The team wasn't. I mean, we look at the Super Bowl and we go, man, they're amazing. They're the greatest thing ever. Because of what they did to Mahomes, but they struggled a lot last year before catching their stride, and then they did struggle against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So, like you said, it is interesting, but I can say this: Todd Bowles can coach a hell of a defense.
He did a great job.
So, I mean, again, it's all about scheming. It's all about scheming and finding the right moments, and they did that in stride last year. So, I mean, if they can just keep some of that same recipe this year, I think they'll be fine.
I agree. I agree 100%, and also too, me and Mike touched on that last year in the playoffs with that decision, not only to go for it, but also, and I didn't catch it. Mike caught it right away. I didn't catch it while watching the game live. I didn't realize that Rodgers had a chance to win the game for them. He did. He could have ran it in. He had an open lane and he decided to throw it for an incomplete pass. So that also was the turning point of the game because right after that they went for the field goal. Anyway, Mike, I know you love Dallas. I know this is going to be a hard pick for you. So where do you think for this Thursday night opener? What do you think?
To answer your question, Mike Williams is with the Chargers.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah,
that's why you guys were talking.
But it doesn't matter because it was Evans who I was thinking of. But really quick, Juwan, who's the other one that the other one, the other top receiver that the Bucs have. I always forget his name.
Chris Godwin.
Godwin. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, Mike.
Okay, so what? I hate the Cowboys. I hate Tom Brady. So who do I pick?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the question.
But we're not going on. Obviously, we're not going by teams that we love. We're going to go just by the fact of the numbers and who do you think?
Speak for yourself. I don't
Okay.
play that game. So who do I hate more? Well, no, I said though, as much as I hate Tom Brady, you gotta respect him. So I'm going Tampa.
Yeah.
I'm going Tampa.
I think it's the good pick. I mean, sometimes the good pick is the bad pick because it's so hard to predict the NFL. It really is. And as good as Dallas
because
played,
also with Dallas, you don't know what you're gonna get from Dak. Dak hasn't.
Or not only that, no, I think you are. I think you do know what you're going to get from Dak because Dak was their brightest spotlight, their brightest point
No, but
last
I'm
year.
saying though, he hasn't. He was out almost the entire season.
Right, you're right. So how is he going to come back from the
You don't know how
injury?
his ankle holding up. You don't know how he's going to look. I mean, according to him, he's sleeping great on his sleep number bed. You know, in the commercials, have to go off camera for 1 minute, guys. But you know, all joking aside, Dak has to show that he still has what it takes.
The Kansas City offensive line is suspect. Did you mean that for last year during the Super Bowl, or you talk? Well, I guess this year for the Super Bowl because it was in February. Do you mean just continuing on into this season? Because I don't know, Juwan, do you know any of the moves that they made to try to improve?
They took one of my offensive linemen from New England. They shored up their offensive line. Look, at the end of the day, all it was that they came against that KC face that they just weren't ready for is they're not used to getting hit in the mouth. And they got hit in the mouth early. And once you set a tone like that, I mean, it changes everything. I mean, I've seen, you know, Revis, Asante Samuel, and now Stephon Gilmore. They always say a lot of these receivers don't like being physical. Like, they look tough, but they do not like being physical, especially if you're putting hands on them at the line of scrimmage and you're kind of psyching them out. So KC kind of just got hit in the mouth, and they had no response to it.
Gotcha.
And yes, that offensive line in the Super Bowl was abysmal, but they did shore it up in the offense.
The other thing, though, too, if you look at it, I mean, Mahomes did everything he can single-handedly to try to do anything, and he almost succeeded. I mean, there were passes, and I still can't believe he even got them off. He threw that one pass where he was parallel to the ground. It should have been caught. Like, his receiver dropped it. Like, his receivers weren't helping.
They were afraid to get hit. Levante David up that middle. That ain't a joke. I mean, it's like most guys when you go and you see Cam Chancellor or Bobby Wagner right there in the middle of the field. Yeah. You don't want any parts of that. You want no parts of that. So Robert got punked a lot.
Robert, we agree with you. Definitely they have I think they do also have a leg up. And the fact that they were able to bring the returning cast back, they have that big returning cast. I think the fact that they are going to have the same people on the field, I think also gives them a leg up. Mike, so continuing with you, you did say you even though you don't like either team or you don't like Tom, and you know, of course you hate Dallas, but you're going to go obviously with Tampa.
I'm going to go with Tampa. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And to answer the KC thing, you got to remember one thing about that Super Bowl, though. His two best offensive linemen were out.
They were out. You're right. No, that was another thing too.
And Mahomes, like, you know, like we talked about when we did the recap,
right,
of that, Mahomes, you said it, Mahomes ran more yards running around than he did rush. I mean, he basically ran jokingly, he ran like a mile in that game. He was all over the place because he couldn't find anybody because he had nobody to protect.
No. You're right. No, and I honestly I blanked on that. I forgot, Mike. You're right. They were down two of their top guys on the line were hurt. So yeah, that was also another. I mean, no, that's going to impact
one of the top guys actually left.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. All right, so let's go. I guess let's go down to it now. We got really quick. So we did that. Now we got Sunday's games. Sunday's games. Obviously, the rest of the league plays. I'm going to go over pretty much all of them really quick. I mean, we're going to just do really quick picks. Not going to be, we're not going to be talking about whatever. All right. So really, if you had a pick, you got the Jaguars at the Texans. Now we know the Jaguars added one of the top pick in the draft this year in Trevor Lawrence. They got the number 1 pick. I believe they went 1-15 or 0-6. They went 1-15, right?
1-15.
Yeah, that's right.
It's been a while since someone's gone.
Yeah. The Lions or the Rams are the last. The Lions were the last to do it.
I think we're the last ones to do it.
Okay. All right. So guys, Jaguars and Texans.
Is Deshaun starting?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
He's not. I think they're saying they're going to put him on a physically unable list because he refuses to play.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So basically, he's sitting out the season, and then next year he's going to go somewhere else.
Well, no, he's just
depending on his court case.
Robert, if you're talking about the Giants, you can interrupt all you want because we're not sleeping on Big Blue. Trust me. Trust me. I think they made some key moves. I'm sorry. Get you on.
No. I was just going to say he's sitting out until the team makes a decision on whether or not they want to trade him.
So who do they got starting there? Who's their backup?
Tyrod Taylor, I believe.
Oh, they got. That's right. They did pick up Tyrod. You're right.
Tyrod Taylor.
How's his lungs? How are his what was punctured? His lungs or what was his lungs?
Yeah, it was his lungs. I don't know how he doesn't own the Chargers right now.
Exactly. I don't know if it's a waiver that they signed that they can't sue, but that is just ridiculous. He lost not only his starting job, but he lost the whole season. He couldn't play because of it.
And that's crazy. Lost his life. That's not something you just go, oh, he punctured my lung, I'll be okay. It's like, no, that could be something very serious. So, but yeah, Tyrod Taylor is starting. Watson does not want to play. Does not want to play at all. If you're the Texans, I'd say now is the best time to trade him.
Yeah.
Before anything of this court case goes any further, I'm calling Washington and saying, you don't have a franchise court. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. That's why Texans have not traded him yet. He has a no trade clause. That's what it was.
Well, he has to pick the team. He has to
pick the team.
Right. That's what it was. I was forgetting.
But the whole thing is with the whole Deshaun Watson thing. If you're a team that's interested, though, I mean, now with the court case, I mean, he might go to jail for what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why? So, Mike, I guess you're alluding to the fact, like, why would you give up anything for a player that you may not even start?
Exactly.
Well, it depends. Like, again, he has not said yes to Washington, but I'm Washington. I don't have a franchise quarterback.
No.
Like, I don't even have a franchise quarterback on my bench just warming up, ready for a chance to play. So, to me, I go to the Texans and say, I can give you a bunch of second rounders. You're not getting a first.
Yeah, no.
Going to give you
I wouldn't give up a second rounder for him right now with everything that's going on with him legally.
I would, because here's the thing. If he avoids jail time and it's just one of those, he's suspended for the first 8 games or whatever the case may be. Again, he's only 25.
Yeah, no, it's Deshaun Watson.
If I'm Washington, I have Deshaun Watson for 4 second rounders for the next 10 years. I'll take that any day of the week. And like you said, they don't have a franchise quarterback, and that's what every team wants. Every team wants a franchise guy that they can build around. So I agree with that. Definitely not a first rounder.
And if you're talking Washington, their starting quarterback's going to be Fitzpatrick.
It's either Fitzpatrick or they got Heineke and or Heineke, whatever it is.
No, you're right, but that's what I'm saying.
Maybe Taylor Heineke, but I like Heineke better.
Yeah,
you're right about Fitzmagic. It works for this year.
It does.
I would make a trade for Deshaun Watson and just sit him there for this year to see what happens legally. And if everything's, I don't want to say fine, but if all he has to serve 8 games or 6 games next year, again, he's 25. It'll be 26 this year. That to me, that's worth it because again, there's nothing else out there if you're Washington. Literally nothing else. You know, you don't have a rookie that you can count on. Even though I did like that kid from last year that the Bucks lucked up and played in the first round. I like that kid's heart a lot.
Heineke.
What, it was him? Okay.
That was Heineke,
yeah.
I like
Heineke started that game.
Yeah, and we all thought heading into the season, we thought heading into next season, well, this season now, that he was going to be the starter. I was like, I think they just found their starter.
Yep.
But getting Fitzpatrick or Fitzmagic, whatever you want to say, I don't think was a bad choice at all, because I think, look, as much as I think Tua has, and I don't want to get into jump all over the place, as much as I think Tua has a lot of talent, I think he's going to be a great quarterback moving forward. What the Dolphins were doing with Fitzpatrick at the center, it was kind of like a slap in the face. Like if if it's broken, don't fix it. My point is like that. I didn't understand the move that they made. I guess I don't know. Help me out here, guys. But
it's the same move his mentor made this year.
Yeah,
It's the idea of you go younger. I mean, you drafted him. It's not one of those things where it's like, if your team is in a position to win, you want to throw your rookie into that fire and see if he can be the catalyst going forward. It's the same thing Bill just decided randomly to do now.
Yeah.
Buy Cam. Bring him back. I'm going to go with the young guy.
Which I was very, and I want to talk about that a little bit more in depth, but I was very surprised.
Last year with Fitzpatrick and Tua switching, it's kind of like when you're watching a baseball game and then like Stroman would pitch 7 innings and here comes the bullpen. That's what it felt like to me when you were watching
7 strong innings with a low pitch count.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, now I'm going to put Tua in. And I'm like, wait, you have the lead and you're putting in the rookie. It doesn't make any sense.
And the Bears kind of did that last year too. The Bears are actually on a winning streak and they pulled Trubisky. Now I'm not saying that was a bad decision because of how Trubisky was performing. But then they put in Nick Foles and then they went to shit.
Yeah. That lets you know more about your locker room because you didn't hear any stories about the guys being upset about that move at quarterback. So it lets you know how the locker room felt about Trubisky. So
Robert thinks the same thing as Mike. Too much of a risk to give up anything for Watson. Great quarterback. Too much of a distraction may not be available because situation. Yeah, but with what Jawan is saying, and I sort of agree as well. We definitely are all in agreement that giving up a first rounder is just that you just wouldn't do that. Not for a guy that you don't even know is going to be able to play, especially if jail time is included. So if they knew definitively that there was no jail time and it was just going to be, like you said, Jawan, just a few game suspension or even a year suspension. Let's just say it was a year suspension. Right. I would still, in a heartbeat, trade for Watson because of his age and his ability. The guy is at least a top 10. I might even say top 5 quarterback in the league. Yep. So I don't see why you wouldn't make that move. But again, the situation that is looming over his head, it's a tough decision for any GM to make. So I can agree with the arguments for both cases. But anyway, so let's go right back to the Jaguars and Texans.
All right, so let's get back on the highway now since we took a
it's fine. This is what we do. We take reroutes and detours. I'm going to go first because Watson's not quarterback, and I do love Tyrod Taylor, and I think the Texans do have some good key elements, but I'm going to go Jaguars. I like what they added. I want to see I like, as much as I hated people putting Trevor on this pedestal because he didn't even play a game, I do want to see him perform. I want to see him succeed. He is the number 1 pick. I hate when number 1 picks are busts. So I really don't want to wish that on Jacksonville. So I'm going to go Jaguars. That 1-15 record obviously was just to get Trevor Lawrence. I think they were way better than that 1-15 record was. So with the acquisitions that Jacksonville made, and because of the Texans and what they have on the field, as talented as they are, I'm going to go Jaguars. I'm sure I'm the only one that's going to pick the Jaguars here, but I'm going to pick the Jaguars. Mike, I started with Juwan before. I'm going to start with you. Who do you got?
Tony Khan not only knows how to pick good wrestlers, he knows how to pick good football players, I think. Joey, I'm going with you. I'm up in the air with Tyrod Taylor. I'm going with Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence is the man right now that everybody wants to watch. Yeah. And I think Tony Khan and Shad Khan made some good picks in the offseason. So, yeah, I'm also – hey, I'm an AEW mark, I guess. I'm going with Jacksonville.
Gotcha. Okay. Juwan, what do you got? You got Texans?
I'm going Texans. Okay. I've seen Trevor Lawrence in preseason, and I didn't like anything I saw. And again, it could be a smokescreen, because the kid from the Jets looks amazing in preseason.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
it could be horrible during the regular season.
Look, me and Mike can both tell you that we hate the Jets. We do. But he's looked really good. Again, it's preseason, but right. He has looked very sharp.
Yeah, I'm going Texans by a field goal. I think Tyrod Taylor is a proven veteran that can put that team in a position to win. I see Trevor Lawrence coming out of that game with 2 picks, 1 sack fumble, just struggling. Again, just struggling.
But you think just a question though, just a quick question.
Yeah.
So you don't think the loss of J.J. Watt's going to hurt the team, though, defensively, though?
Oh, for sure. But here's my thing. Sometimes with rookies, not all the time, it's just holding the ball too much. And it's one of those things to where it's like just thinking too much, not just a quick reaction, get the ball out. I think he'll struggle with that over the course of the first few games and then really start to hit his stride going forward. But this is one of those games that it's going to sound really weird. Could be a trap game for the Jaguars. A game that I think they should win, relatively easy. Those might be games like this might be the ones where he struggles the most in.
I still think with JJ, I still think without JJ in the defense, though, I think the Texans just don't have,
Robert thinks it's too close to call, and I agree.
Joe?
Yeah, he froze.
Joseph.
Uh-oh.
We lost our host.
Well, to what you were saying, yeah, losing J.J. Watt is going to be a problem, but I still do like Texans corners. I think they have some solid corners in a good safety. So they could throw a lot of schemes at them defensively. But if your point is you don't trust their pass rushing ability, I have no arguments there whatsoever.
Okay, I'm just saying you're losing one of the best pass rushers.
Yeah. I mean, no argument there. It's like I said, but you can still throw a whole bunch of different kind of schemes at him with your corners and your safety, whether it's bringing the safety up for a blitz, whatever the case may be, to really throw him off. And like I said, I think this could be one of those trap games.
And Joey's back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. For some reason, it was showing my Wi-Fi signal. I'm hardwired connected, so I have no idea what happened. So I just left the studio and came back. So
that happened to me. That happened to me a couple of times.
I'm glad I'm back.
Hardwired, and then I'll be gone too.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So anyway, I do agree about the trap game. I think that could happen. That could happen to any team in the NFL to fall victim to that. It's usually the teams that you think they're going to beat, and they either play them soft or whatever. But also, too, it is his first NFL opener. It's his first NFL game. Take preseason, put that away. Preseason, I don't ever hold any stock in. I don't. Even baseball spring training, same thing. I don't really care if my team goes undefeated in spring training. It's what they do on the field and when it counts. So the fact that it is his first NFL game. And NFL and college are two different ball games. So
just remember, Cleveland, the year they went 0-16, they were 4-0 in preseason that year. Just to let you know,
right?
So preseason and regular season, two different things.
Now we got the next game, and the next game is the Chargers in Washington. And why I think this is going to be a good game. Because now it's going to showcase what we're going to get from Herbert and the Chargers this year with the key additions that they've made. Especially they've made a couple of moves on defense, but they added some weapons for Herbert, which was key. Mike Williams was one of them, and then of course, like I said, he's got Keenan Allen, and Washington was known and is known for their great defense. That's what pretty much put them in the playoffs. They got the young quarterback in Heineke. They got the old veteran in Fitzpatrick. So whoever takes the ball that day, which I'm assuming it's going to be Fitzpatrick, that's on the offensive side. But the defensive side is what I think is going to hold Washington together this year. And if they do succeed, if they are successful in the NFC East, as weak as that division is, it's going to be because of their defense, I think. So with the Chargers and their high-octane offense that they showed that they can do last year against a really good defense that made the playoffs last year, what do you guys take? Jawan, I'm going to start you with this one because I know what you feel about the Chargers. How do you see this game, and what do you see this game doing?
I think this game will be a close one. What no one's talking about is a guy who will be a fantasy numbers. Just explosive kind of guy is Scary Terry for Washington.
Okay.
No one's talking about him. I think Scary Terry this year will be a top 10 wide receiver. No one's talking about that kid. That kid is stupid talented. Very fast, can take the top off. I see Fitzpatrick putting up 24 to 30 points in this game.
Oh.
To me, Herbert's great. Losing Hunter Henry, I don't know how much of a hit that will be.
Yeah.
For him. I don't know how much of a hit that'll be for him and how much of an addition it'll be for us. But again, I told you before, I think Keenan Allen is the best wide receiver in the NFL. As long as he can stay healthy, gives you a chance to win every night. I'm not so sure about Washington's corners. They play really good team defense, where they could scheme you really well. But again, they have the neutralizer in their both teams have a neutralizer. You have Bosa on one end.
Mm-hmm.
You have what's his name that they drafted high last year, the
Chase?
defense. Yes. So it's all about who gets the more sacks out of those two. Those two will be what swings the pendulum. But I'm gonna stick with my heart, and I'm gonna go Chargers win this one, 34-24.
Okay, I agree. And also
and
too,
a score prediction. I like that.
when we were talking about additions, I actually forgot to add. They also added tight end Jared Cook.
Yes.
So the Chargers and Herbert have that other offensive threat as well. I think I know more about Chargers offense than I do the Washington offense, so that's why it's tough to call. It's just the defense that stands out so much for Washington. Nothing against Fitzpatrick. I think he's a great addition for the Washington football team. But anyway, that being said, I do want to see the Chargers succeed. I like Justin Herbert. I like what we've seen from him last year. I hope we get a continuation of that. So for that reason and that reason alone, and of course, Washington being in the NFC East, and I don't want them to win, I'm going to also go Chargers. I don't have a score prediction, though. Mike, I know you're going to go Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, just for the fact, I mean, Herbert, what he did last year was amazing.
Yeah.
And they also beefed up the defense a little bit this year, which gives him more, because remember, Herbert was scoring like 30-something points a game for a while, but he was also getting beaten by this, by like 3 points. Like the game would be 34-31 and the Chargers will lose.
Yeah.
Because the Chargers had no freaking defense.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They beefed up the defense. Now the Chargers ownership sees what they got, and they're like, oh shit, this kid's like amazing. We better give him some help on the other end so that we don't lose.
No, and this is a perfect game for the Chargers to start off with, and Justin Herbert to start off with against a defense as talented as Washington is. Yeah, so it's good. It'll be curious to see how they protect him and how he performs against a team that could go after the quarterback and bring you down.
Yeah, so I will definitely take the Chargers over the Redskins.
And Robert also commented and said, not sure of Washington's offense, which all of us are pretty much, except for Juwan. Juwan said that they have talent in the wide receiving department, which I wasn't aware of. But I also don't follow Washington that much. So I'm glad that you brought that. And I am glad that you brought that up. I do know about Washington's defense, especially with Chase. But I will also say their defense, and we all said it, their defense is scary. And it's something that could put them maybe even at the top of the NFC East this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Also, look out for Chargers have a new head coach. So to see how this new head coach looks, what schemes he brings out, will be interesting, because I preferred their coach last year. I thought he did a good job. Again, defense was sketchy. It's really hard to make things work without the proper pieces. But I like that because remember when Taylor went out and he was, backing Herbert, it was one of those things to where it's like he gave Herbert the ultimate green light. Go out there and sling it. Just do it.
It's exactly what he was doing. And also too, Juwan, just to not only add your guy, Terry McLaurin, they also added Curtis Samuel as well.
Yep.
From the wide receiver department. So and Adam Humphries. I'm not really sure. I'm not too knowledgeable of Adam Humphries. Where did he come from?
I feel like he came from Tennessee.
Okay. They did add some wide receiving to mix in with Terry as well.
Let me see.
And then of course, like I said, and they also added a wide receiver, the rookie wide receiver in Brown, and some offensive help on the line. So the Washington football team actually did add some key elements as well.
Yeah, Terry was a 1,000-yard receiver. last year.
Okay.
Only 4 touchdowns, but you can kind of attribute that to their quarterback play.
Yeah.
So then, but to still rack up 1,000 yards without like a bona fide quarterback last year,
Right.
like I said, the kid's extremely talented.
Right. Okay. All right. I could have sworn the Chargers were on this list because that's where I saw Jared. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Jared Cook, they added a center in Lindsley to help out, and of course they drafted Slater. No. Yeah, they drafted Slater, but of course they got the cornerback Asante Samuel Jr., which was another good draft pick. Okay. Heading over now to the next game, the Seahawks at the Colts. Now we all know the Colts picked up Carson Wentz on the offseason to go with his former offensive offensive coach? Was that who he was?
Yeah, offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator. That's what I meant. I couldn't think of the name. I don't know why I couldn't think of coordinator.
It's Frank Reich. He used to
Frank Reich.
Jim Kelly's backup.
Right. Yeah, no. I remember those days. No, but Reich actually played the game that they won. They went into the playoff. They ended up losing to the Titans, but Reich was the quarterback that game. Mm-hmm. Remember when the Titans made that miracle play in the 90s, late 90s? They did the kick return, the kick return for the touchdown. Yeah, so Frank Reich, I believe, was their starter that year. Anyway, so Wentz has a reunion with his former offensive coordinator in Frank Reich. And look, we all know what the Colts did last year with Phillip Rivers. They were also very good. The Seahawks is where I'm confused about, only because I love Russell Wilson. I think he's a very talented quarterback. I don't know what they added as far as helping him on the line, if any. And Jawan, maybe you can help me out with that. So depending on what they have to help him, because he's been complaining for years that the guy needs some protection because he's doing it on his own. And he's got some really big threats in Lockett and this guy, the big guy who starts with an M.
Metcalf. DK.
Metcalf. Yeah. So Metcalf. DK. So with the weapons that Russell Wilson has, and what the Colts have now, I think this is going to be a really, really good game. And I don't know this. I'm gonna actually hold off on my pick because I really don't know where to go on this one. Because like I said, as much as I think Russell Wilson and his offense is scary good, I don't know. And but the Colts and their defense was like top, like one of the best earlier on last season. But I think then some injuries hurt them. But because their Colts, Mike, you remember from doing Monday Morning Quarterback last year, we kept praising the Colts defense. They were shutting teams out. They were limiting. I mean, they were beating on the Jets as well. But I'm gonna do my pick last.
I mean, a good high school football team can beat the Jets. I mean, let's get serious.
So what do you, Mike? What do you think? Seahawks or Colts?
I was in a toss up with this. This was actually the longest pick I had to make because I was debating on who to go with. Because look, I think Carson Wentz is going to improve from last year.
You would hope.
He will. I think he will because like I told you when we were talking about it last year, and we mentioned this, he missed Frank Reich a lot. They were very good friends. They were, they hung out together. They went to church together. They went, they spent a lot of time with each other, more than just coach and player.
I also think, and we also talked about this last year too, it was more about the situation that he was in. And a lot of it went into his head. And I think the same thing happened in Chicago as well with Trubisky.
It's basically the same thing with the Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers type situation. He saw that they drafted his replacement when he says, wait, I still can play.
Yeah.
And then his coach basically, thank God they fired him. I mean, the son of a bitch deserves to get hit by a freaking Mack truck after what he did to us in that last game. Oh, I want to see if the kid can take some snaps.
Yeah.
But getting back to Carson Wentz, I was torn on this. I'm going with Seattle. Just for a simple fact is I don't know what Carson Wentz is going to look like.
Okay. All right.
So Carson Wentz has to show me first that he is awake and that he is going to be the Carson Wentz that we saw prior to getting injured, 10-0 going into the playoffs when Nick Foles took over and won the Super Bowl.
Gotcha.
That's the Carson Wentz I want to see. Are we going to get that Carson Wentz? Like I said, that's up to Carson Wentz.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with Seattle, even though, like you guys were saying with the whole Russell Wilson issue and everything. Look, if Russell, and we talked about this too when this came up, if Russell wanted to leave, Russell could have left.
He had the opportunity to leave.
He could have. He said, like when that story first came out, and me and you started talking about it, and I even brought it up on my sports talk thing when we were talking about it. If he wants to go, all he has to do is, here's my team, let me go. He stayed. So obviously he feels either he owes something to Pete Carroll or he owes something to the city of Seattle. I say, I'm more sick with that. I mean, but I think Russell is more into it right now, where I think Seattle can win this game. But like I said, it's going to be close.
It should be.
It's going to be a close game.
And I agree too. Chicago and even New Orleans, they did their they tried to court him heavily. They were trying to pull him in, and I honestly thought he was going to go to one of those teams because of all the rumors and what was going on. Like, he wanted out, and his wife loves Chicago and stuff like that. So anyway, that being said, Robert does pick the Colts.
And also, if you're married to Sierra, what's it to her?
I Juwan, where are you going with this pick?
Seahawks.
You're going to go Seahawks?
Don't trust Carson Wentz. Never have, never will. The guy just seems like a system guy, and he is yet to be in the right system.
I would vote Orange Cassidy thumbs up with Juwan on this.
Yes.
There you go.
My hands are in my pockets right now.
Gotta give the people what they want.
Gotta give them what they want. Russell, the Seahawks did, somewhat, not completely shore up that offensive line, but Russell Wilson's biggest problem is the same problem all the greats usually have. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, they like their first reads, right? So if you take away their first reads, that's when they have to scramble. That's when they got to move out of the pocket, move around. DK Metcalf is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, he's extremely inconsistent. There was a lot of times Russell was depending on him last year where he was either out of it mentally, where he didn't get the ball, so he was, crying or whatever. But his first two reads are usually Lockett and DK.
Yeah.
So if you can do a good job just taking one of them out of the game, you then cause Russell to have to do the running around in the circle that he always does.
Exactly.
And then that's when you can make it your kind of game. But to me, I kind of think Seahawks come out this year with a different kind of swagger. Russ knows that if they can't make it to the Super Bowl this year, there's just no way the Seahawks can keep Pete Carroll. There's just no way. He can't.
If they can't make, if they can't make the NFC Championship game, there's no way they could keep Pete Carroll. Or if in that situation, does Russell then finally say, "I'm done"? And I want to, and then I want to go out of the
not done in the league,
and then go somewhere like New Orleans or a team that needs a quarterback. Because I'm mentioning the Saints because we don't know what the Saints are going to look like this year on the field. But
I tell you this: if Washington keeps chipping, that is a very desirable destination. Once they get the whole name thing figured out, top of next year.
I just call them Redskins still because, one, I'm not politically correct, and two, I'm trying to get Joey kicked off by YouTube, but it's not worth
great.
it.
Thanks. No, I agree with you on here. I'm gonna go Colts, and the only reason why I'm gonna go Colts, it has nothing to do with Carson Wentz. It really doesn't. That defense did prove, and again, it was early on in the season, but they proved that they can actually play the best. And if what you're saying is true, Juwan, and all it takes is to get one of those top receivers out of their head, or in their head, I should say, and out of either a step or two, and forcing Russell to scramble, I think the Colts might do their job. And the Colts really didn't have to add much. They did add on the rookie side a defensive end, and of course we got Carson Wentz, and they got another offensive lineman in Eric Fisher. But anyway. I'm going to go Colts. And that's only because of what they showed and what Russell and Seahawks didn't show last year. They had one of the worst defenses in the league. We talked about Dallas's defense earlier, in this stream. Seattle's defense was atrocious. I mean, the Giants beat them up.
The Giants beat them in Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, again, that was a low-scoring game, though.
But you know what? That was with no fans either.
And
I mean, that was like piped in Kevin Dunn sound noises.
But I am with you, though, Juwan. I don't really trust Carson Wentz. I don't. He hasn't really shown us anything. He hasn't. Ever since that injury in Philadelphia, has not come back, and has not come back from it. So again, I wouldn't mind seeing him thrive in Indianapolis. I wouldn't mind seeing him being like, you know what? I had a lot going on. There was a lot. I was in my head. There was a lot of shit going on in Philadelphia, even behind the scenes that you didn't know.
Right.
I'm just happy to not only be with my old guy, my old offensive coordinator in Reich, but on just a new team that wants me to play. So,
but here's the thing: you're picking the Colts, but you're questioning Carson Wentz. So,
because I'm
you're thinking that the defense is going to win this game, and
I think so.
And that's it up against Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
Joe.
Yeah, you never know.
Joe.
All right, let's move on.
Joseph, you want to go with Seattle on this?
No, actually, I don't. Anyway, let's go. Let's move on because this next game is actually an interesting one. You got the Jets against their former quarterback in Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers.
Who scheduled this one?
The Carolina Panthers. So the Jets are going to be going to Carolina, and they're going to be playing their old quarterback in Darnold, and the Carolina Panthers. I think is going to be a team that is under a lot of people's radar. I think they're going to be a lot. And I talked to Joanne about this, and you said it's McCaffrey's team, and it's up to him, and it's on his shoulders. So it'll be interesting to see what he does on the ground, but also what Darnold does on a new team and with some weapons. Because look, as much as we joked around, as much as we dogged the Jets, I don't think their problems was the quarterback.
It wasn't.
It really wasn't. I'm not saying Darnold is top 10 quarterback in the league, but at the same time, they had way more issues than that. I mean, if you want to say the head coach, the coaching staff in general, or just the fact that they didn't have any, like Darnold really had nobody to throw to, So anyway, that being said,
I mean, when you got guys on ESPN even saying Sam Darnold can be a top 5 quarterback if he wasn't playing for the Jets.
Yeah.
You have a problem with your team.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going Panthers. I think the Panthers, well, I mean, that goes without saying, Robert. And I think Mike and I can agree with you on that. But honestly, I'm not even being biased. This has nothing to do with me not liking the Jets. Look, the Jets showed what they showed on preseason. Their young quarterback showed what he showed in preseason. He looks pretty good. But that being said, we're in the NFL season now. And I just think the Panthers are actually more talented. I just do. And let's see what I want to see what Darnold does on a new team. So I'm going to actually go Panthers. Juwan, what do you got?
Going Panthers. I want to go Jets. Let me not say I want to go Jets. But Romo gave a lot of praise to the Zach Wilson kid. And I know a lot of people like to poop on Romo. I love Romo. I really did. I thought he was.
I got nothing against Tony Romo.
Yeah,
I think he's one of the best analysts in the game, and he knows his football. He actually calls a lot of shit before it's actually done.
He does. He predicts shit before it happens, and I also agree, Mike. I agree with you 100%. I wasn't crazy about Romo as the quarterback, but that's only because he was on the Cowboys, and because I'm a Giants fan. However, I will not ever. I have nothing against Tony Romo, especially as an analyst. I think he's one of the best.
I think he's one of the best, and he actually, I could see him head coaching one day.
100%.
That's how smart he is.
Yeah, no, he's very football minded. He's a very smart guy. Yes.
Yeah, I just give the edge to Carolina because, like I was telling you, Joe, I think it's going to be easy for Darnold. Make your third down completions, and just hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey. That's it. Make smart plays.
Just got to stay healthy.
Third down.
Just got to stay healthy.
Yeah, if Christian's healthy all year, Sam Darnold's job is probably one of the more easier ones in the NFL.
McCaffrey missed almost all of last year, right?
He was injured. Then he actually
came back
the rest of the year. No, he didn't get injured. No, he sat out because of the COVID shit.
Oh,
right.
So he opted out. So he didn't want to. he didn't want to deal with everything.
Gotcha. Okay. No, but I knew that. I knew he was hurt. I didn't know he sat out. But yeah, I agree. Or like you said, Darnold, just complete your third down passes, and just move the ball on the ground. That's really all you got to do.
That's really it. Because again, Christian is a Swiss Army knife. So you don't only have to hand it off to him.
You throw it to him.
He could do HB wheels, pop right out. Him against any linebacker, I'm taking Christian McCaffrey.
Gonna block him?
Yeah. So to me, I say Sam Darnold wins this one relatively easy.
Okay.
Relatively easy. All
right, Mike, you going? I'm assuming you're going Panthers.
To quote Bugs Bunny, nothing can be finer than a trip to Carolina in the morning. I'm going with the Panthers. Rookie coach, rookie quarterback. Look, I know Zach Wilson looking in preseason, but preseason.
And I think Salah is going to do a great job.
I think Salah is going to do a great job too as a head coach. But you're coaching for probably, if not now, probably the second. If it wasn't for what Houston did last year by getting rid of certain people that pissed off Deshaun Watson, I could literally say the Jets would have been the worst football franchise in football right now. But Houston took that honor. So I mean, no, I think Zach Wilson is going to be a future great quarterback, and I think Robert Salah is going to be a good head coach, but not this year.
Okay. No, so, that's understandable.
I'm gonna go with Sam Darnold. He can get a little revenge on being treated like a piece of shit for 3 years.
All right. Next up, let's speed it up a little bit, guys.
Please, because I got wrestling to watch.
All right, calm down. We got the Vikings at Bengals. Now, Vikings actually made a lot of moves, and I think most of it was on the defensive end, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Pretty much defensive tackles and corners. So they made a lot of moves on the defense because I think that was what hurt them last year. And I happen to like Kirk Cousins. I really do. I liked him when he was on, I think was a great quarterback when he was on Washington, just on the wrong team. And at the same time, I think with Cousins, he could, anyway, I'm going to, but what the Bengals have in Burrow and in other offensive weapons that they have, even on the ground, I think they're a very underrated team, and I want to see what Burrow does coming off of that injury. He was out all year, which sucks because
he did talk Cincinnati into drafting his wide receiver.
Yeah, that's right. They drafted the wide receiver from when he played. So the Bengals, I think the Bengals are going to be a really good team. So look, it's tough to go against the Vikings because I think they were a lot better than they were record-wise last year, and I was even surprised with the games that they lost. Some heartbreakers too. I think by field goals. I believe that the Bengals are going to be, if not this year, definitely by next year, but maybe even by this year. I think the Bengals are going to be a really good team.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go Bengals. I normally would say Vikings, but I'm gonna go Bengals with this one. Mike, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with Minnesota. I'm gonna go with the same thing with what I said with the Jets. You got Joe Burrow coming back from the injury.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what you're gonna get out of him. Granted, he did get them to draft his wide receiver in the first round. They did pick up a lot of things, but it's just I want to see where Burrow is health wise. Like the same thing with Dak.
Right?
How is he health wise? Is he gonna be able to perform prior to what happened to him? But I'm gonna go with Kirk Cousins. I think Minnesota's gonna have a good year this year.
I mean, they have to. I think they're going to be better than they were last year. Like I said, and they did beef up their defense tremendously on the offseason. And then also made some key acquisitions in the draft as well. But I just think right now, because of what they showed us last year and what the offensive side of the Bengals showed on the ground and in the air before he went down on injury, I still think the Bengals might be the better team. So that's why I picked Bengals. Juwan, who you got?
Bengals easily. I swear by
I'm like I'm like the low bit of the totem pole here. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a man on my own island on this pick.
I swear by Joe Burrow. That's really all I'm going to keep it at. I swear by the kid. I loved him last year.
Yeah.
Was going to be my my rookie of the year easily last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything he brings to the game. I know a lot of people don't care about this word. Swag is very important when it comes to being a great quarterback in today's league. You got to have it. You just do, and he does.
What sucks about a market like the Cincinnati Bengals is I don't get to see many games, so I can't really see him perform as much unless he plays my team or unless that game happens to be televised.
Right.
But from what I did see, especially highlights covering the season last year that we did on this channel, I agree with you. I just think whether it's the swagger that he has or just in general what he did on the field in such a short time.
Mm-hmm. And he makes really good, smart decisions. Like I like a quarterback that in a third and short situation, he's just not afraid to just run.
Yeah,
if the first read's not there and the pocket's collapsing, just get out of there. Just get right out of there and just take off. There's just a lot about him that I really enjoyed, and I think he's gonna have a huge bounce back year this year.
I hope so. I do. I hope so because, like I said, it was a tough injury. It was definitely a tough loss. You can tell. You just saw it in his face when he went down. That I mean, nobody really wants to get hurt, especially and lose a whole year. But to do it in your rookie season and have after having the games the success that he was having early on, you could see it on his face, and I hope for the best for him. And Robert also goes with the Bengals as well. All right, moving on. We got the Cardinals at Titans. This should be a very good one because of what the Cardinals sort of showed us. And look, young kid in Murray, he gets a little dazzled sometimes. But as far as talent, Kyler Murray's he's got it. And Arizona as well showed us that they could be a playoff contender if they wanted to be. Tennessee, on the other hand, with King Henry and what their offense can do, this should be a tough matchup. This should be. I think the Titans do take it. Robert's saying Arizona. I can't disagree with the pick. I think either way it can go, but I am going to go just because of the fact that they do have King Henry. They added Julio Jones, which I think was a very, very big, and of course Josh Reynolds as well, wide receiver. But the addition of Julio Jones. And some also key defensive guys in Bud Dupree and Janoris Jenkins, Jackrabbit, old former Giant. I think the Titans, they went from the team that they were last year, knocking on the door, and they might have put themselves even more so further than better than they were, I should say. So just for that fact, and like I said, because they have King Henry, I'm gonna go Titans. What do you got, Juwan?
Didn't Arizona add J.J. Watt?
Yes, they did.
No, I know.
J.J. Watt to a defensive line that already has Chandler Jones. I'm going Arizona.
They did.
Yeah.
I'm going Arizona.
No, I know they got. Look, I know that Arizona has a sick defense, and we talked about this several times last year, Mike, you and I. Their defense, especially what was it, the corners, right? What was the one corner you always praised last year for Arizona, Mike?
Starts with a B. What the fuck is his name? Booker? Booker? No.
No, and it's not Booker.
No, wait.
Boot or something, I want to say.
Buda Baker.
Yeah.
Love Buda Baker.
Yeah.
Thought it was Buda Baker.
No, extremely fast as well. No, I agree. Look, you know what? I don't want to shit on. I'm not shitting on Arizona's defense, especially with the acquisition of J.J. Watt. But if he stays healthy. I don't know. I don't know what these guys will do on the same field together. I got to see how they play. I'm not dogging Arizona. I think Arizona is really good and really talented, especially in the quarterback side. But I just feel like stopping Henry and then also stopping the attack in the air, especially with guys like Julio Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's a tall order for the defense. A defense and it's a team like Arizona that can probably do it, but just on paper right now, just looking at it without looking at them on the field, that's why I picked the Titans. But I think Arizona is a really good pick. I do agree with you guys.
Again, like I said, as long as, and I get it, Henry is a difference maker.
Yeah.
But as long as Arizona has D-Hop, that's where my faith goes.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Hail Mary himself.
Exactly.
Hail Murray, not Hail Mary.
Hail Murray.
Yes, Hail Murray. And then adding in AJ Green. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, AJ Green's done. He's washed.
I don't think he's done. It's not a bad pickup.
I agree. I think he can very much be your third down guy. I think he very much can be your end zone guy. He has a small frame, but he's very strong up top. He very much can be one of those go up and get it kind of guys. That's exactly what he was in, you know, with Dalton in Cincinnati.
Yeah. No, I liked AJ Green in Cincinnati. I did.
You know, all right. So, you know, I'm an Arizona transplant.
Robert's going to Arizona too. So Robert's with you guys as well. And he doesn't like Jack Rabbit.
I didn't get my pick.
I know. I'm saying Robert.
I didn't get my pick yet.
I'm just saying Robert's. I meant with Jawan. Yeah.
So, but no, you know, I'm an Arizona transplant.
Yeah.
All right. And I love Buda Baker, love Chandler Jones, love JJ Watt.
Jawan might actually, I'm telling you, Jawan actually is trying to force me to pay, not force me.
I love D-Hop.
He's making me second guess. You guys are making me second guess my pick.
Here's my problem. I'm going Tennessee.
That's a problem.
2 reasons. 2 reasons. I just threw a curveball right in your faces. Here's the 2 reasons. Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray. I don't trust them.
Oh, you don't trust your wife's man crush?
No, that's the
wait, that's
Cleveland.
Why did I think
she loved dude, no. Stefanski's off the board now. I'll tell you later. Now she has
but the head coach is Kingsbury on Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I thought it was
I don't like
kind of crush on him.
I don't no. That was Stefanski on Cleveland.
You're right.
But no, I'm going Tennessee because Tannehill, King Henry. I don't trust Kyler Murray. He 1 minute he looks like pure gold, the next minute he looks like pure shit.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I said, and I made this comparison, and I think if I bring it up, you might remember, Joey, when I said he's kind of like a car engine. When he started up, it takes a while for him to warm up, and then it kicks in. He ain't gonna have this with Derrick Henry and Tannehill. You ain't gonna have time to start. Oh, it's the third quarter. Let me start throwing touchdowns. It ain't gonna work that way. And I think Cliff Kingsbury is not one of the brightest coaches in football.
It's a toss up here only because, like I said, you do have one of the top running backs, if not the best running back in the game, in King Henry, but you also have a dynamic defense that could stop him and could get to Tannehill and even shake up the wide receivers in Julio Jones and AJ Brown. But it's just, I'm with you. I don't know which Murray we're going to get. So I don't know on the offensive side what Cardinals are going to do. But if the defense does their job, they won't have to do much.
Look, no disrespect to Kyler Murray. I've seen him do phenomenal things.
Yeah, no. Look, I know you praised Arizona last year, so I'm not saying I don't think you have any disrespect for either Murray or Arizona.
No disrespect for the team at all.
Yeah,
I just think Kyler Murray is a Jekyll and Hyde type quarterback, and I think the coach is. You know, when they picked this guy, it was a head scratcher out here. It was like, who the fuck is this guy? It was like everybody was questioning who this guy picked. And granted, the guy, I mean, he lives like a king. He has a nice little fire pit in his backyard. I've seen his house on TV 1,000 times. You know, he thinks he's king shit. You know, but you don't know how to coach well. And you're going up against a team whose head coach is a very good head coach in Mike Grable. And you got a very good quarterback, and you got a damn good running back. So
I think it's going to be a close game. I do.
It's going to be close. I'm going to go with the Titans.
Yeah, as confident as I am in that pick, I shouldn't even say that, as I'm not really confident in that pick because, like I said, Joanna almost persuaded me to change my pick to the Cardinals. But that because I admittedly I forgot how good the Arizona defense is. I'll be honest. I'll be dead honest. That's the approach I took was I saw King Henry. I know what Tannehill can do. The fact that they added Julio Jones, albeit I know he's an older Julio Jones, but still a threat. The fact that they still have AJ Brown, but also the picks that they made on the defensive side as well. I mean, the moves that they made on the defensive side too helps them out. But I also forgot not about JJ Watt, because with JJ Watt, he is great, but he's an older player now, and he kind of fell off a little bit in Houston. He was also hurt sometimes too, but he did fall off. So I don't know how he's going to do on this Arizona team. I'm sure he doesn't hurt them. He definitely helps them, but we're really not going to know anything until we see the game. Mm-hmm. So let's move forward. I think this one should be an easy pick, honestly. We got the 49ers at Detroit. So let's not stay on this too long. I'm going 49ers.
49ers.
As much as I don't know what we're going to get with Garoppolo, if we are going to get
starting,
I think he's going to start. I don't think they're going to go right now with the other one. But
Trey Lance, you mean?
Yeah, Trey Lance. I thought their decision was they're not going to start Trey Lance. They're going to work him in maybe in the middle of the season. I don't think they go with Lance, but either way, honestly, it's not even about who's at the center. Their defense was decimated by the injuries last year. They were all subs pretty much for the beginning of the season.
Even the quarterbacks. I mean,
even the quarterback. Well, yeah, Jimmy G was hurt almost almost the whole team, honestly, but more on the defensive side was hurt. So if they stay healthy, that 49ers defense is really good.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think Trey Lance if Jimmy G's on his game, if he stays healthy this year, I don't think we're going to see Trey Lance until next season, honestly.
It's possible. But yeah, I'm going to go 49ers. Look, the Lions, they obviously have Goff because they traded, the Lions did trade away Stafford, thank God, because he wasted away his talent. He wasted away years on that team. So I'm glad Stafford.
Now it's just Jared Goff's
now Goff
shit to deal with instead of Matthew Stafford.
Now let's see what Goff can do with those Lions. But I'm going to go 49ers. Mike, who you got?
I already said it, Niners.
Okay. Joanne?
Lions.
You're going to go Lions?
What? Yep. I don't like Matthew Stafford, so
okay.
I hope that the Rams are horrible this year.
Ooh.
And I thought
I'm trying to jinx a guy.
I thought Jared Goff was solid. I thought the Rams had a multitude of problems outside of just their quarterback position. I don't think having Matthew Stafford automatically makes you a Super Bowl contender. I think possibly he a few notches makes you better than what Jared Goff could do. But again, Jared Goff to me is a very solid quarterback. I hope he can come into Detroit, win a few games, kind of help build that franchise back up. But yeah, again, Jared Goff, this is the same Jared Goff that dropped almost 50 points in the game against the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, I know.
Into the Super Bowl.
I know, but that was also on the Rams. I don't know what I don't know much about what the Lions have and don't have. But
I mean, they lost some stuff. I mean, they do still have Trey Flowers, who has not done anything since leaving New England.
Mm-hmm.
They got a few things there, but do I think this team is solid enough to pull up one or two upsets this year?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And I think this will be one of them.
All right.
Okay.
All right. But Mike knows. I'm just going to be and then we'll go on to the next pick. I happen to like Stafford. I think Stafford wasted a lot of years on the wrong team.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Matthew Stafford is one of the better quarterbacks with the shittiest team in football.
Yeah, and he consistently. I mean, he does throw the ball. He does turn the ball over, but at the same time, he consistently gave you 4,000 plus every season on almost every season. I think he even won 5,000 one year, and it's again he did it with a team that really didn't give him much. I mean, I can't remember. Did he have Megatron? Was Stafford on the team with Megatron?
Yes.
All right, so I mean, he did have Megatron, but at the same time,
Megatron, but he still didn't go nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because it was the Lions. But and I say that I actually love the Lions. I did.
I mean, I think we just mentioned the three voice franchises instead of.
Yeah, I know. And I grew up liking the Lions. I mean, I used to pick teams that I liked based on their names.
Well,
I love the
Lions. Aren't you a Leo?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So.
All right. Let's get to this one. This is going to be an interesting one. I already have my pick already picked out. but I want to see what you guys say. So this one should be a good matchup. This is another 1:00 game on Sunday. This is going to be the Steelers at Buffalo. Now, we all know what both teams did last year. Buffalo, I think Buffalo right now is one of the better teams in the AFC. And the Steelers went undefeated for a good part of the season. And I said it every week.
I argued with you every week that Ben Roethlisberger should have been thrown in the MVP conversation.
And I said no.
And you were right.
Good thing he wasn't.
Because he didn't. I mean, he showed whatever, but it wasn't Ben that won those games. Oh, it was more defense. And of course, I mean, they do have they had in Claypool, they had a talented wide receiver, a rookie wide receiver in Claypool. The Steelers have weapons, and they're always known for their defense. But Buffalo has proven, especially with the acquisitions that they made, Buffalo has proven that they're going to be a force to reckon with, especially last year. And I love Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen right now, I mean, I reluctantly don't put him in my top 5 right now, but after the season, he could definitely move there if he shows what he did this year. Because not only does he throw the ball, but he runs the ball. And I mean, he even caught a touchdown pass last year. So he can do it all. I'm going to go Bills. Steelers are actually another thing I want to tell you guys. Joanne, you really don't know much about my teams or who I like. I'm a Giants fan first and foremost. My secondary team has always been the Steelers. I always love the black and gold. Again, I used to pick teams based on either names or colors. So Steelers were my second favorite team in all of football. So it's a tough pick for me. I normally would go Steelers because I don't generally the Bills. I know they're New York, but I never really cared for the Bills that much, especially when they went on their 4-year.
The Bills are more Canadian than they are New York.
I'm going to go Bills.
It's South Toronto.
I'm going to go Bills only because of what they did last year. Mike, who you got?
Buffalo.
Okay. Joanne, you going Steelers?
No. As much as it makes me want to throw up, I'm going Buffalo, but that's purely because Steelers I thought were overrated when they were winning all the games last year.
They were.
As much as it was to make you throw up.
Yeah, I'm a Patriots fan. The Bills are they're in my division.
Joey, I guess it's like us picking Dallas or Washington.
Washington, exactly.
Or
Philly.
Oh, Philly. Oh, definitely. I hate Philly.
Speaking of which, you ready? Philadelphia at Falcons.
The
Battle of the Birds.
Talk about one of the possibly could be one of the worst games of the week.
I'm going Falcons by like 4 touchdowns.
I'm going Falcons. It's not even because I hate Philly. I think the Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to be a better team than they were last year, and I don't know what.
That's what I was afraid of. Like, which Falcons team is going to be out there? Is it going to be the Falcons from last year? But they did draft the tight end that the Giants wanted. Yeah, they did. Yeah. The Giants wanted Kyle Pitts in the worst freaking way, and everybody caught on to Kyle Pitts, and Atlanta drafted him at number 4.
Yep.
And we knew. And I think he's going to be a real key factor in and Matt Ryan's offense. So I'm gonna go.
And I like Matt Ryan. A lot of people. I never blamed any of the problems because Matt Ryan. I think even when they were losing, he wasn't really underperforming. I think.
Well, no, Ryan, it was mainly what the special teams screwed up that game.
Oh,
with
special team, hell yeah.
I mean,
it's true.
Hopefully now with new coach, new everything, I'm gonna go with Atlanta too.
Okay. All right. So moving on. This should be a good matchup. I think the Chiefs are going to take it, but Browns at Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs are going to be home, so I give them the home field advantage. They have Patrick Mahomes, so I give them that advantage. And, of course, Tyreek Hill and all their other weapons. The Cleveland Browns, I think, are going to be a good team this year. I do like Baker Mayfield. I like the weapons he has. Even as much as I know he's a head case in OBJ, you still got to acknowledge the fact that he is a very talented wide receiver. And he is a weapon to not fuck with. But even with all the weapons that the Browns have, and they might even be my dark horse pick next when we go on. I know how can the Browns be a dark horse pick if they're favorites, but not many people have them going to the Super Bowl. I mean, you have your juggernauts in the Chiefs. I guess you can say the Bills. in the AFC, but I think the Browns are up there. So, and even the Titans, I would even put the Titans up in the conversation. The Ravens, yes, but we'll get into I fucking hate the Ravens. We'll get into that later. But I'm going Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, because of the home field advantage and because you have the best quarterback in the world in Patrick Mahomes, and you know for a fact that the Chiefs not only hated losing the Super Bowl last year and in the fashion that they did it last year, but Pat Mahomes is going to come out with a vengeance this season. And they're going to prove. I got people have them at 12-5, and I think that's being modest. I don't think they're going 12-5. I think they're probably going to go 13-4, at least
14-2.
No, there's an extra game, so it would be 14-3.
Oh, 15-2. How's that?
Okay, I don't think so. I don't think 15, but they can.
17-0.
All right, I don't see that happening either. But because this could be one of the games that they lose, honestly, because of how talented the Browns are. But I'm going to go Chiefs. Juwan, who you got?
I'm going Browns.
Okay.
Browns have one of my favorite cornerbacks in the league right now, in Denzel Ward.
Okay.
Love Denzel, very physical and fast and crafty corner. But for all the reasons you're saying you're going Chiefs is why I'm going Browns. Browns were probably one of the worst play calling away from knocking the Chiefs off last year.
Yes.
It was just bad play. I mean, no Patrick Mahomes and you lose that game.
No, you're right. I was going for the Browns in that game.
Me too.
I couldn't believe that they couldn't beat a Mahomes-less Chiefs. And we talked about that too.
Yeah.
Who was there? This is fucking killing me now. I can't believe I forgot. Who was the quarterback?
I don't remember his name.
Oh, shit. I just saw his name too because I was going through their roster just now.
Fuck.
Was it Moore?
No, it wasn't Moore. It was Kyle.
Was it Chandler? No, not Kyle Chandler.
God damn it. Hold on. You guys keep talking. I'll find them.
Yeah, I think OBJ is gonna have a really good bounce back year this
year. He should.
Oh wait, Crybaby's still on the team?
Yeah, of course he is.
Oh shit.
So much disrespect.
Hey, you know what? And Javon, I like you, but I'm gonna say this. Fuck Odell Beckham fucking Jr.
He's a little sour on the subject because of what he was on the Giants. But Mike,
marry a fucking kicking net, you stupid bastard.
Tell us how you really feel, Mike.
Look,
Odell Beckham Jr. can kiss my fat ass. How's that sound? At Macy's window on a Sunday morning.
I look at the guy for talent. Look, I'm not a Giants fan, so I can only imagine how it felt having him. But talent-wise,
when he was on. The talent was just.
By the way, Chad Henne was the quarterback of record.
Oh, and you couldn't stop Chad Henne?
You could have stopped him on a third down. You could have stopped.
It was a third down.
That son of a bitch ran the first down and he stopped the Browns.
It was unbelievable. Unfucking believable. I was screaming at the television on that play. I was screaming at the television pretty much the whole game.
Because like I said, Kevin Stefanski's is my wife's crush, and she's in the back, and she just went,
No, I mean, I think the Browns are one of those teams to where it's like, I think they're going to have a giant leap, kind of like the Bills are having, to where now you're looking at Josh Allen as possibly taking that next step. Yeah. I think Baker Mayfield could take that next step, and I'm glad that they didn't give up on him because he has shown that he has the ability to be what they need him to be. So, again, Myles Garrett. I think Myles Garrett, I tell you what, we were talking about the Chiefs' offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out how good they are with Myles Garrett. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because if they can't stop that guy, it doesn't get any easier. I think there's maybe one NFL team that does not have a pass rusher that's great in the NFL right now. So I'm going Browns. I think Browns take it.
All right, and I can see. I honestly can see the argument for either team, and I'm only going for the Chiefs solely on the fact that they are going to be in home field, and I just know how much of a competitor Mahomes is, and I know losing the Super Bowl the way he did just didn't sit right with him the whole offseason. And I just have a feeling that they're going to come out. Mahomes is going to come out with something to prove, and the guy has nothing to prove in my eyes.
And I think he's a little upset he had to share the Madden cover with Brady.
Yeah, I still don't understand what that was about.
Yeah,
so now we're going to jinx 2 quarterbacks in 1 year.
But the thing is, neither one of them won MVP. Wasn't it Rodgers that won MVP?
Yeah.
So you call it the MVP edition. You have Mahomes and Brady, which is fine. Okay, they both went to the Super Bowl. They were opposing quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. But with the disrespect to fucking Aaron Rodgers, who actually won the MVP.
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't get that. I didn't get that. Yeah. And you know, and Mike, you and Joanna, I told you, you guys know I have no problems with Brady. I like Brady, but I just still couldn't believe that, you know, they could have had 3. Why not put the 3 of them on the court? Anyway, whatever.
I was more so shocked he wanted to do it. You know,
I still say it's because they didn't know what Aaron Rodgers was doing this year.
All right.
That's what the whole thing is, and they wanted to rush the game out and everything.
Mike, you got the Chiefs or the Browns?
All right. Look, I love Baker Mayfield.
I know you do.
I love Nick Chubb. I love that. My wife loves the coach. He wants to divorce me to marry the coach. As much as I want to say Browns, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. They're in Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes is pissed the fuck off. And he's going to shut everybody up about him being a fluke.
Well, I don't think
fuck Odell Beckham Jr.
Well, I don't think anybody thinks Pat Mahomes is a fluke. I'll tell you that.
Because everybody kept talking about the GOAT theory and that he's going to be the one to dethrone Brady.
No way, he's the kid a fluke. Because even in a fucking loss,
well, no, even in a lot of people were questioning him.
He outperformed
after the season because everybody was pointing the finger and putting the pressure on with the next GOAT. The guy that's going to dethrone Brady, this kid's going to win. If Brady wins 10, he's going to win 11.
Okay.
And then all this shit happened. It's like, oh, well, now that they lost, they're not as good as they seem to be. And I'm like,
no, I think
he's still just as good. You got to realize he was out 2 offensive linemen. He ran all over the place. He didn't know who to throw to. And it's like Joanne said earlier when you talked about Russell Wilson. Without DK and Lockett, if you take one of your problems out, then that's when he starts running around and losing.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Mahomes. But Mahomes didn't have nobody to throw to. He had nobody protecting him. He had to run.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I'm going to go with Kansas City on this. I mean, look, as much as I want to say Cleveland, I think Cleveland, when we get to the prediction, I'm going to give you my predictions later.
You better.
I think Cleveland can go right to the championship game and make up for the loss that they had last year.
Yeah, no, and then like Juwan said, and he actually reminded me about it.
Cleveland
was bad play calling. Cleveland was good play calling away from knocking out the Chiefs. That's all they needed to have was good play calling.
Dude, they had to stop Chad Henne from running 3 yards. They had to stop him from running 3 yards.
All right, we got 4 more picks. We got 4 more picks. These
I gotta get the all out, man. Let's go.
I was jumping ahead. I actually made my next 4 picks. I think they're relatively easy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Packers at Saints, and I'm gonna go Packers. Packers, I think, were another product of bad play calling. The Packers could have easily went to the Super Bowl last year.
It wasn't even bad play calling. It was a bad decision made by Aaron Rodgers.
No, but not only that, it was also the bad play call.
4th down, you're
giving Tom Brady back the fucking ball. Like, that was just fucking stupid.
Yeah,
you don't do that. You just don't do that.
I mean, it's as simple as this. The game's on the line. You go for it. And then again, if Brady has to take it from his own end zone, make him take it from his own end zone and drive it the length.
Exactly.
But you don't ever just say, you know what? I don't think we can do it. Just
here you go.
No, because like you said, it was 2 bad plays that did that. It was Rodgers not running in, scoring the touchdown to cement the fucking
just tucking and running it in. That's all you had to do.
And the stupid coach calling for a field goal when you could have done another play, and instead you give Brady more time, like we just said. And then that's the whole thing.
Well, also with the Saints too, I don't know what to expect. I mean, obviously we don't have
who's the quarterback?
You don't have Drew Brees anymore. You have Jameis Winston.
Jameis is starting.
Jameis Winston's the starter. Yeah, they named it.
Okay, so we're going to get like 10 interceptions this game?
Well, now what he did show on that one play, Mike.
One play out of
no, but
Jameis
again,
Winston threw 30 touchdowns at Tampa Bay. He also threw 30 interceptions in the same season.
So Winston, that's why I'm going with. Well, I mean, that's not why I'm going with Packers. I'm going with Packers because I think they have the better offense.
They got Aaron fucking Rodgers. That's why it is.
And they also have, they have Devontae Adams. They have a lot of weapons. Green Bay, but anyway, I just don't know what to expect from Winston. Like you said, Mike, he's been very inconsistent. Yeah, he throws touchdowns, but he also throws a lot of picks. So I don't know what he's going to do on that in that offensive scheme. So that's why it's a big question mark in the quarterback. In the quarterback column for me. I know they're playing at home, but guess what? Saints aren't even going to be at home. Saints aren't going to be playing at home for the first quarter of their season.
What that hurricane knocked out this?
Yeah, they're not going to be playing in Louisiana.
Isn't this the same shit happened with Katrina a while back? They were all over the place.
I believe they're going to be sharing a stadium with Dallas. They're going to be playing some games in AT&T Stadium, I believe.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I heard that. But anyway, so I also factor that in as well. But I'm gonna go with the Packers. Robert's going with Saints. Mike, who you got?
I'm going with Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers needs to shut up a lot of fucking people on that organization this year.
Okay. All right, Joanne.
I'm going Packers. I'm going Packers.
Hey, a rarity. We picked all three teams.
We have a couple of
we have a couple of we enjoyed it and locked arms in agreement. Good, appreciate it.
So this next game and this next pick, I'm going to be honest. This is probably going to be biased.
This is like totally biased.
This is biased. Look, the Broncos made some decent moves on the offseason, and the Broncos were actually a good team, a lot better than they were. Record wise, they added Kyle Fuller. They added some key pieces. They did, but with their quarterback, I think they got Teddy. Didn't they get Bridgewater?
Bridgewater is going to be the starter.
So they got Teddy Bridgewater, which I liked him in what was he in Carolina?
Yeah.
I liked him in Carolina. I have nothing against Terry Bridgewater. I didn't have any problems with Drew Lock either, but I don't know. I really don't know what to expect from Denver this year. They added key pieces, but at the same time, you look at the Giants, and not only because I'm a Giants fan, I would hope with additions like Galladay, Kenny Galladay, and Kyle Rudolph. Thank you. If Rudolph actually plays, because I know he started off the season hurt, but I think he should be fine.
That kid we drafted, Tony, that they said
yes,
was the biggest steal in the draft was Tony.
That's what they say. And the defense that they have. The Giants defense actually was probably their bright spot last year, especially in the corners.
One thing that wasn't fixed, Joseph, the offensive line, because if you watch that preseason game, Daniel Jones got sacked a lot again.
Yeah.
And I know, and I think I don't know. My theory,
I don't know what this is.
GM needs to get fucking fired.
I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's just that they're hoping that if they added enough pieces on the offense that they could just win shootouts and not worry, and their defense can take over the rest, because their defense
you can't win a shootout if your fucking quarterback isn't being covered to throw like a gunslinger.
I'm hoping
Dave Gettleman needs to go, and I told you this plenty of times.
Mommy, Von Miller is healthy.
Oh God.
Giants by a hair. Robert says Giants by a hair. I'm gonna go Giants, and not because I guess you know what, I take that back. I don't think it's only because of bias. I'm hoping the additions that they have. I'm hoping with a healthy Saquon Barkley. I'm hoping Daniel Jones does have enough protection, hopefully, to throw to his key new additions. And again, their secondary was not only revamped, but I liked guys like Bradbury. In the corner last year, surprised. He did really good jobs, and hopefully, guys like Slater can hold. Slater or Slayton? Slayton can hold the ball, and what was their? Oh God, Mike, please help me out. The tight end that I fucking hate.
Oh, Evan Butterfinger, fucking Ingram.
If hopefully Ingram can actually fucking catch a ball,
well, that's why we got Kyle Rudolph, because we don't have. well, hopefully Joe Judge will realize that, okay, this kid doesn't know how to catch a fucking ball. I told you, he's Featherstone from Necessary Roughness. You got to put that stick-up shit all over his head like, oh, I just jerked off an elephant. That's what Evan Ingram needs.
Mike, I already know you're going Giants. Juwan, who you got?
Broncos.
You gonna go Broncos?
Of course. Why would the Patriots fan pick the Giants?
The Broncos. The Broncos are a good team.
Right, but it has nothing to do with that because I actually picked the Giants the last 4 years to make the playoffs.
Playoffs.
But no, I like Bradley Chubb and I love Jerry Jeudy. And
we were hoping that the Giants were going to trade for him.
Bradley Chubb and Nick Chubb related?
I don't think so.
Okay,
right, Mike. You and I were hoping that the Giants were going to pick up Jeudy as
I was hoping Jeudy would get over here.
Yeah,
he's a stud. He's a stud. But no, to me, what I think the equalizer is you guys said it. You guys said you didn't. You know, there's problems still at the offensive line.
There is,
and again, like what was said, getting a healthy Von Miller. Von Miller has had to sit back and hear Aaron Donald's name every single day. I don't think he's too fond of that. I think he wants to reaffirm where he's at.
Joey, am I want to change my pick?
Oh, wait. And you know what, too? I forgot to mention they also did pick up Patrick Surtain II. I forgot about Surtain.
Oh, yeah, they drafted Surtain.
Don't they have AJ Bouye also?
I think so. I just know that they picked up Fuller, Darby, and Surtain. To help out with their defense.
Yeah. Darby Allin or
no, Ronald Darby.
Ronald Darby. Yeah,
Jawad, who I met.
And that's what I'm hoping too, Robert. That was one of the other reasons why I think they picked up Kyle Rudolph. They were hoping that they were going to get a decent blocker for that edge rush and help, give Jones a couple more seconds to throw.
I tell you what.
Well, that's another reason too. Is Evan Ingram is like afraid to block people, which I hate.
That's a very fair
like
thing. That's a very fair thing to think, but that's what Carolina thought with Greg Olsen as Von Miller threw him like a rag doll. So we'll see. We'll definitely. I'm not saying Broncos will blow the Giants out.
No, I don't think so too. But I can see the argument for the Broncos.
It'll be a close game, but I'm just saying in general.
Well, that's why I originally said it was going to be a bias pick, but then I broke it down even further in my head. I was like, well, the Giants did add some weapons, so hopefully it's enough. But
the whole thing for me is too. They're not playing in Denver. They're playing
in
Jersey. You're taking them out of my thing.
Yeah,
where a lot of teams suffer. Also, I'm pissed off to the fact that this game should be on Fox over here, but instead I got to watch the Green Bay Packer game Sunday because of some strange reason. And
they're both on Fox, so you'll get the Packers game.
Yeah, I'm getting the Packers game, even though I should be watching the Giants game because there's more of a Denver fan base in Arizona than there is in Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't see why. I don't get that. Really quick before we get to the next pick, Robert said something about Olsen. Olsen is not Rudolph, and I agree.
True.
I agree. All right.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. What does that mean?
Yeah, what is that?
Rudolph.
I guess
Rudolph is a better tight end than Greg Olsen.
Maybe a better blocker.
I
think Greg Olsen. That's right. I think Greg Olsen is a step. I look. Don't get me wrong. I love Kyle Rudolph when he was on the Vikings. I did. I thought he was a really good tight end, but I still think Greg Olsen is a bigger.
I think we also forgot.
Well, maybe blocking wise he means.
Super Bowl. If he's talking blocking, sure.
I think he means blocking.
Rudolph's better than Greg Olsen.
Body. But
I think he means,
I think that's what he means.
We're talking overall. People forget Panthers going to the Super Bowl that year was largely because of Greg Olsen.
Yeah.
That's literally who Cam was throwing to all year, was just Greg Olsen.
Yeah.
So to me, Greg Olsen is a way better all-around tight end.
Speaking of Cam, that's coming up next.
It is. We got the next game is the Dolphins at the Patriots. And look, we saw what the Dolphins can do last year, and whether it was with Fitzpatrick or Tua, their defense is what really won them the games that they did. Yeah. And Robert does say blocking. He just meant solely blocking.
Oh,
okay, sure. That's what I thought he meant. I didn't think he meant like.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think he meant the other thing.
General.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I'm going to go Patriots. I'm going to go Patriots in this one. I think the Patriots, and Mike, you and I talked about this. The Patriots showed us something earlier on last year before Cam went down, before the whole COVID thing. They were actually winning games. And we thought that they were gonna like Tom Brady, who I thought they were gonna be a lot better.
I wasn't doing Tom Brady, who I was just going.
I was,
yeah.
So I was pleasantly surprised, especially what they were able to do with Cam, and they showed like they were beating teams easily. So, and then of course, like I said, the injuries happened, COVID happened, and that happened, and they didn't even make the playoffs.
Right.
I know Miami's a good team, and they obviously added. They added here right now. They added both Will Fuller, and of course they got the rookie Jalen Waddle to help out with to his threats.
Mm-hmm.
But Robert, I'm with you on that. But he says someone shoot me, Patriots. But I'm not a Patriots hater, and you guys know that. But I'm gonna go Patriots. I just think I don't know what the Dolphins are gonna show. I gotta see what the season tells and what unfolds. But on paper, I want to see the rookie quarterback, the one that they just draft, Mac.
Yeah, Mac Jones.
Yeah,
Mac and cheese.
I want to see what he can do on the Patriots at the center. I liked Cam. I thought he was going to come back. I was actually surprised they cut him. But I'm gonna go Patriots. Mike, what do you got?
I'm going to say the same thing. I'm not a New England hater. I'm a Tom Brady hater. Saying that, Mac Jones is the future of this franchise. Mac Jones is the next Tom Brady for this team. I think I talked about Mac Jones, and you heard me talk about Mac Jones.
Even before the draft.
I even said the Giants should draft Mac Jones as a backup to Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones is not making it past year 3 as a New York Giants quarterback because of Dave Gettleman.
Yeah, and Robert agrees with you. He fits the system, and it's true. That's why a lot of people said.
Thing. And everybody started this bullshit on ESPN where they said, oh, Cam got released because of whatever, because of the COVID thing. It wasn't that. Belichick said it. When at the end of the day, he and Adam Schefter reported this on Friday, when this went down, Belichick went with what he saw out of Mac Jones compared to Cam Newton. Bill Belichick doesn't like a running quarterback. He likes he likes a drop back in the pocket quarterback. He doesn't like these running quarterbacks. Look against Cam Newton. Cam Newton's a great quarterback.
Yes.
He just didn't fit Bill Belichick's system and what Bill Belichick wanted. That's why you got Mac Jones.
Gotcha.
And everybody started jumping on the shit with, oh, it's the COVID thing. Oh, because he didn't want to get this and he didn't want to do this. And of course, whatever. And Max Kellerman, thank God he left the fucking show Friday. Hate that son of a bitch with a passion.
So you're picking Patriots?
I'm going Patriots. Look, like I said, I'm not a Patriot hater.
I know you're not.
Okay. But I just think Mac Jones, and like I said, I'm going to go off and say it. Mac Jones is a future Hall of Famer without even looking at one snap.
All right. That's a bold prediction. I didn't even think we were going to do that. I've seen him in
Oklahoma. I've seen him play for Oklahoma.
Hold on. Let me add that to the topics. Who are our Hall of Fame picks?
Eli Manning.
Not me.
John, who are you going for?
I mean, I should go Patriots with my apparent future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
No, I'm going Dolphins.
Wow,
Dolphins,
you're going against your own team?
You're going against your own team?
Did we not say coming into this that
I did say that
we're going to speak if we're going to speak logically?
Yeah, no, I said that. I said no biases.
But hopefully with Tua, though, what worries me is this is really his first full season as a starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not putting this game on the shoulders of either Tua or Mac Jones. This game will come down to
defense.
Dolphins have a nice defense, right?
And so does New England.
But here's the problem for New England. They're missing Gilmore. You're now asking J.C. Jackson, who was a great smokescreen as your number 2, to be upgraded to your number 1. We see what happened with Malcolm Butler. Did he leave again?
I think you know what though. I don't think he left by accident. I think he hit the X button on StreamYard.
Oh, good.
He's coming back. He made a boo-boo there.
No, I mean, having Gilmore out is like when we lost Revis and upgraded Malcolm Butler to a number one cornerback. That didn't last. It was the reason why we had to go get Gilmore. So to me, I don't know yet what J.C. Jackson can be as the pure number one cornerback.
Right. I mean, look, I know I went a little off when I said that Mac Jones is a future Hall of Famer. I already watching him play one game. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is when I look at Mac Jones and you look at him playing for Oklahoma, look who he had a quarterback behind. Yeah. He was the backup to Tua. Right. Tua was the backup to was it the guy on Philly, right? That was
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. Hurts was the starter for Oklahoma. Tua was the backup. Mm-hmm. Tua then was the starter. Mac Jones became the backup.
Okay.
And then Mac Jones was the starter. And all three of them were great quarterbacks for the Sooners.
I tell you this.
That's why I'm saying that Mac Jones, if he's following the same way, this year you're going to have all three Oklahoma quarterbacks starting in the NFL this year.
Yep.
Yeah. I tell you this. This is the one bright spot New England has.
So it's going to be fun to watch them play.
That front rush is amazing. I mean, no slight to you guys, but as Daniel Jones in that last preseason game, what Matthew Judon looks like in the New England jersey. He saw a lot of it. So I think Judon will be huge for New England. But I could see, if I'm being just 100% honest, is just pure analyst of football, not a Patriots fan.
Right.
See Dolphins leaving out of New England, winning by a field goal.
Okay. And it's a close game. And like I said, as good as the defense is for Miami, I can see that. Because look, Mac Jones, let's be honest, hasn't had an NFL snap. So we don't know. I know, Mike, you have him in the Hall of Fame. You have him wearing the jacket already. But I don't know. We don't know.
I know. Look, when we lost you, and I think you accidentally X'd out of the stream. I don't think your system went down. Did you X out by accident?
No. It went down again.
Okay.
Yeah, I had an X out.
Or nothing. You just disappeared this time.
No, it's the second time that I, for some reason, lost internet connection when I'm fucking connected to the hardware. I don't.
Can I say just really quickly? If I was thinking with my heart to go with New England, Ramondre Stevenson, James White, J.J. Taylor, and Damian Harris. If Mac Jones leans on that running and does what Brady did the year he had Aaron Hernandez and Gronk, just go heavy Henry and Jonnu, because you could do end arounds with Jonnu.
Yeah.
Short wheels with Jonnu, and he takes it 40 yards. He'll be fine. But again, it'll come down to Dink and Dak. Like, you have to kind of like little throws.
So
like Daniel Jones.
You mean Dink and Dunk?
Dink and Dunk, sorry.
And Daniel Jones. Because that's their offensive scheme, is Dink and Dunk.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, so basically both teams are going to Dink and Dunk the whole game.
Hey, whatever gets you the yards.
Now I want a donut. Now he's talking Dink and Dunks over here. Now I want a freaking Krispy Kreme.
I will say that they gave him Nelson Aguilar, who had an amazing camp for New England. He had an amazing camp. And Kendrick.
He comes over from the Raiders, right?
Yep, who had a great year with the Raiders last year.
Yeah, he did.
Horrible year with Philly, but great year with the Raiders. So I don't know. To me, if Mac Jones depends on that running game, they can walk out of this.
You gotta.
Like that comment. Wait, who's the guru? Who's the guru?
I'm assuming Juwan.
I think it's Juwan. I mean, I don't think he's talking about me with putting Mac Jones in the Hall of Fame.
I'm literally taking the backseat to what Juwan's got to say. To be honest,
that's my dad, and he's also a Giants fan.
Gotcha.
So I'm sure he's loving you guys.
Why didn't you tell me that was your dad from the beginning?
You didn't say that was your father.
I was going to tell you after the show. I was waiting for that.
Oh, yeah. Well, he just said it now.
For nothing, nobody really sits around and watches a whole show with us anyway. So I'm thinking it's like a diehard football fan listening to us.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you what, he will enjoy watching you guys every week more so than.
I'm glad. And I had the pleasure. Of meeting him. He's a good guy. He is.
Well, don't worry. I think me and Jawan are going to talk after the show because he's going to watch him on my channel soon, I think. Because I got something. I'm trying to work some things in my head with this guy.
Yeah, my dad's a wrestling fan too, so he'll be there for that too.
So the last game for Sunday. We're not going to do Monday's pick only because we have a Monday show. So we generally do Monday. Yeah, we do Monday. Monday Night Football.
I have a Monday pick.
Oh, Mike, calm down. So we got the Bears and the Rams. Now, Mike, you already know I went out and I bought a hoodie for the Bears last year. I thought the Bears were a real team, a real threat. They had a really good run in the beginning there, and they ended up making the playoffs, but that was only because of
your brother
Arizona's.
Thought they were a real team too.
But look, I can't say that the Bears didn't do things to improve, and of course they have the rookie in Justin Fields, so I do want to see what he brings to them. Hopefully, much better success than Trubisky or what's his face, Cole.
You know my theory about Ohio State quarterbacks, right?
Oh yeah.
Nothing good ever comes out of Ohio State.
I think Justin Fields might be an exception to that rule, Mike.
Could be.
We're gonna see. But if I had to pick on paper, and your dad immediately says the Bears, which again I no problem with that. But we are playing we're playing in LA, and we're playing against a Rams team that already had weapons to begin with, even when Goff was there.
Aaron Donald,
not Aaron Donald, Matt Stafford.
No.
Oh, Aaron! I thought you. For some reason, I thought Sam Darnold.
No, Aaron Donald. Not
Aaron Donald. Yes, yes.
That's Sam Darnold.
Yes, and they do have. You're right. They do have Aaron Donald on the defensive side, but I'm talking about from the offensive standpoint. They have some weapons, and of course now with Matthew Stafford, which I think is going to be a really, really good fit. I'm hoping will be a good fit in LA, because he's going to have talent around him finally. So we're going to see. I'm going to go with the Rams because
the talent that Jared Goff had.
Well, yeah, I'm going with the Rams.
This actually work out better for him.
Only because of not only the weapons they have the offensive side, but also on the defensive side, especially with Aaron Donald. Joanne, what you got?
I'm going to go Rams only because Allen Robinson is their best target. And you can best believe Jalen Ramsey just vetoes that guy completely out.
Yeah. There's one thing the Bears didn't really do is pick up anybody on the on the wide receiving core, and I didn't understand that.
They didn't even pay Allen Robinson. He's right. On a what do you call this thing? When they just signed the
not arbitration.
Undrafted free agent.
No.
Yeah, but it's an actual name for it.
Franchise.
They franchise tag.
Franchise.
Yeah, they franchise tagged him.
Yep. So he got franchised. So they don't even really have him long term. So he could walk next year. So yeah, they didn't bolster. That's why I said, just start the kid. He gives you the best chance to win games because he can extend plays with his legs. Your offensive line isn't that great. You didn't add any offensive weapons.
None.
So it's just the idea of you need someone who can be a Swiss Army knife. Rather than your traditional drop back, two-step kind of guy. So to me, I'm going the Rams. I mean, unless Khalil Mack has a just out of
even with your hatred of Matthew Stafford, you're going with
in my mind, Jared Goff is still the quarterback for the Rams. So in my mind, Matt Stafford isn't there.
Or just pretend, yeah. Even if you pretend Stafford's not there, I agree with you. And they even say,
I think Goff or Stafford can beat this team.
I'm looking at he said that he's pretty much saying the same thing. I'm looking at the CBS website. They basically say that they're lacking in depth in both offensive line, cornerback, and wide receivers because they didn't do anything.
Losing Fuller was huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah,
they don't want to pay nobody. They'll pay Khalil Mack literally $6 billion and nobody else. That's it. They just want to pay Khalil Mack. That's it.
Well, it's kind of way if you look at it that way, it's like kind of like the baseball theory with Mike Stanton on the Angels. It's like they'll pay Mike Stanton $50 billion to stay with the team, but they won't get nobody to do anything with him.
He said, I digress. That's what the last thing he says because he corrected himself. But he said, what the hell are they doing with the Big E? A question for another show. I digress.
That's for your
wrestling.
Show. Yeah, that's for your wrestling.
Big E.
Jawan's daddy. Let me just say this. That will be said on my podcast next Sunday because I always rant about this because Big E laughing to Paul Heyman does not mean he's cashing in on the tribal chief. He will be cashed in on the Almighty, because they're going to do a thing with New Day once Kofi comes back healthy, and then we're going to see that happen where Big E will get his revenge for his brothers.
Mike, who do you got? Rams or Bears?
Rams.
Okay. All right.
I mean, Justin Fields, Mrs. Fields. Either way, it doesn't. I better have Mrs. Fields. It's actually a winner. It tastes delicious.
I don't know. I thought he showed some promise.
Matt Nagy at this GM are going by are risking their careers on Justin Fields.
Do you think Andy Dalton? All right. So do you think Andy Dalton gives them a better chance?
Ginger Snap is not starting.
No, but I know he's not. But I'm saying if you take away Justin Fields. Who's gonna? Does
it doesn't matter. He's riding. Look, these two are riding on this draft pick to carry them to make sure they get their jobs secured, without doing nothing else.
That was the problem, and that's the problem. It has nothing to do with them. Robert says he's got to go.
It's like Gettleman.
And he said, give him the link. We can share the link on this. I'll share Mike's link on this. Robert, or Jawan,
Robert, don't worry. Me and Jawan are talking after the show. Once we go backstage and discuss, Jawan will most likely be with me and James going forward on future shows, because me and him have a love for one specific thing, and it's not Vince McMahon and his sports entertainment. I'm talking wrestling, wrestling.
Yeah,
okay,
that's for sure. I'll let him know.
But yeah, it's the fact that. It's the fact that you want to bank on this draft pick. You want to bank on the young kid, which is fine.
That's what he's doing. But
they did nothing to help him.
Wrong thing.
They did nothing.
It's kind of like Gettleman. Oh, I'm giving him Kyle Rudolph. I drafted this kid in the draft, which is a steal. I got this guy.
But you did nothing to help.
You did nothing with the offensive line, and now your job is in jeopardy. Gettleman with the Giants.
Is the Bears head coach a new head coach?
Matt Nagy. No, Nagy's
been on.
Coach.
Is it 2 years now?
It makes sense why they didn't spend any money. Because what they're probably going to do is see what the Bears can do this year. Mm-hmm. If they look horrible, you just clean house, and then you just reshuffle the deck completely,
and then build around Justin Fields.
Because you got your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I like that theory.
That's probably exactly true, though. That makes sense.
Because it sounds like the mess what they're going to do next year with Steve Cohen. He's just going to get rid of everybody and just start and do his own thing.
To be fair, it's smart because you're viewing to see what stays in the new transition and what goes. So if everything looks bad, you can go, well, at least I have my cornerstone and my franchise quarterback. And then I could see what else I want to kind of put around that. So, I mean, you got a franchise on defense with Mac, franchise on offense with Fields. You just build around those two guys.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, though, at least Belichick gave Mac something to work with, that he could actually make the playoffs this year as a rookie quarterback. The Bears didn't do shit. They just we got Justin Fields.
To be fair, though, also, Belichick works as literally everything.
Well, Belichick is the GM of the is the GM of the Patriots too. Not only is he head coach, he is and he also is a defensive fucking genius. Let's get that straight. I mean, he did coach us, the Giants, to 2 Super Bowls, right, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are welcome for that, by the way. You can thank Wes Welker for that.
Well, well, for one of them. I mean,
one of them for sure. The second
one. Welker makes that catch.
We won 2 of them from Mr. Seven Ring.
In all fairness, Welker makes that catch. That's
See, that's why I always say I don't like the comparison between Julian Edelman and Wes Welker. Julian Edelman would have made that catch.
He would have. Yeah, he would have. Julian Edelman is freaking great.
All right, so staying away from the Monday pick, because Mike, I really do want to wait till Monday next week to do that.
I made the pick, but I can wait.
Yeah. Let's move on to what we think are going to be the division winners. I don't know if we want to do wild card predictions because we are almost at 2 hours, but at least
because I still got work to do today.
Yeah, east of the division, but easily, I think division winners for the most part.
Hold on, I got to pull up divisions now. I got to pick each one.
All right, let's start with the AFC East. Are you guys in agreement? And I know, Juwan, I know you're a Patriots fan. But do you give the AFC East automatically to Buffalo? No.
And that's not even as a Patriots fan.
Right.
But no. No.
Even I'm saying that, no.
I think they can win the division for sure. Do I think it's a give me like
Yeah.
Pittsburgh all those years?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, like New England all those years.
All those years. I mean, pretty much they had. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I think it could be a toss up, and if Mac Jones is anywhere near what everyone's expecting him to be, it'll be a tough division for the next decade and a half.
Oh,
well, yeah, especially you.
I think the AFC East now is going to look not just for the simple fact that Tom Brady now is gone, but it's going to look good in a way where three of the 4 teams, and don't get me wrong, if the Jets can work with this new coach and Zach Wilson too, you might have 4 really good teams going after that division.
You got 4 promising, and Josh Allen's included in that. Obviously, he's already established. But you got 3 promising quarterbacks in that division alone.
Yeah,
also,
you do.
Keep this in mind: if Brian Flores can't generate playoff wins within the next year or two, or let's say within this season, and because again, one of the teams that Deshaun Watson wanted to go to,
Miami,
was Miami. So if he can't get it done this year, that team, and Deshaun doesn't have to serve any prison time.
Didn't he? He won Coach of the Year, didn't he?
No, Brian Flores.
No. Oh no, you know what? I'm sorry. I know somebody that lives in Florida that was pissed he didn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, he made a case for it.
He did, but no. I'm glad he didn't deserve to win. No.
So if Miami gets Deshaun Watson, and it's Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, Mac Jones, and Zach Wilson, it might live up.
But if Tua could prove himself, though, I mean, you don't need Deshaun Watson if Tua could prove himself.
For sure, but to prove himself means he has to get them to the playoffs and at least win 1 game.
Yeah,
because that franchise knows Deshaun.
And how much of a time frame, though, Jawan?
I give him this year because again, if they don't trade,
even when only playing a half a year last year, because with the flip flopping that Flores did.
Let me ask you this: here's the comparison I made. There were some rumors, not big, but some rumors that Russell Wilson and Sierra wanted to go to New York.
Yeah.
Right? There was a clock on Daniel Jones if that was even remotely possible. They would have easily traded Daniel to Seattle to get back Russell Wilson. So what I'm saying is, if Deshaun does not get traded this year, and he kind of skids over this legal issue, they could look at that situation and go, well, he wants to be here. He's 25 years old. You know what I'm saying? Even if he is suspended for 8 games or a season, you go with that because that's the sure thing. You don't have to ever worry about anything with Deshaun talent-wise. You know, you make that. You make that if you have to. So to me, in my mind, I say this year. And then if that opportunity is still out there without any legal troubles, you just have to pull the trigger on it. You just have to.
All right. I look again. I think the future is bright for the AFC East. I really do. But again, as with all draft picks, you never know what you're going to get. You know, we've gotten some busts in the first pick. I mean, look at Ryan Leaf and others. Ryan Leaf always comes to mind. But it does look good. But if I had to pick, I'm going to make
Tim Couch. Anybody else want to throw in those?
A lot of Browns. Browns picks.
Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Football. All right, but if I had to pick, and I'm going to only pick solely on the performance of last year because I need the other teams to show me what they can do, including the Patriots. You know, what can the Patriots do with mac and cheese? What are the Dolphins going to do this season with the full season of Tua? And of course, what are the Jets going to be able to do with now a rookie quarterback, first-year head coach, and some of the moves that they made? So based on last year's performance alone, until proven otherwise, I'm going to go with the Bills to win the AFC East, only because of what they've shown and what Josh Allen can show. And that's it. So that's my pick for the AFC East division winner. Mike, what about you?
I'm going to go with New England.
Okay.
I really look, I'm high on Mac Jones. I really am. And if I'm going to be high on him, I'm going to ride and die and see if this kid can actually pull it off and get into the playoffs with 1 year, with just 1 year experience going under his belt.
And Bill Belichick.
And of course, Belichick.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this. Stop. Matt Castle won 11 games with Bill Belichick.
Yep.
11.
Yep.
It's not hard to believe that if Mac Jones has the talent and the patience, that he can't win 11 games.
And then he went to the Chiefs, right? And then he did nothing.
And Castle just missed the playoffs with the
Bill
Belichick.
they just missed
because remember, that was a very weird year for the playoffs. It was something really weird that happened that kept New England out. Because remember, the Jets made it instead of New England that year. I think Brett Favre might have been the quarterback. I'm not sure if he was or not. But it was like
I think it was Sanchez. I think it was Sanchez.
No. Not in 2011. This was 2000. No, not 2011. 2008. Not in 2008.
Oh no! 08 it would have been. It would have been.
If it was 8, it was Favre then.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the times that the Jets went to the back-to-back AFC champions.
No. I'm talking about because remember, Matt Castle was only in because Brady tore his leg in that first game. And then they created the rule for him. But right. He went 11 games. He won 11 games. So do I think Mac Jones can win 11 to 12 games? Sure. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm going Patriots too. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So let's not stay on that too long then. Let's just go really quickly to the AFC North. AFC North right now is stacked. I think because you got Cleveland, you got Baltimore, you got Pittsburgh, even though Pittsburgh kind of fell off towards the end of the year and showed you what kind of team they really are. But you still always have to have Pittsburgh in conversation when you're talking. And now you are getting a healthy Joe Burrow back, hopefully, and the weapons that Cincinnati has. Cincinnati now might be in the top of the conversation as well. Winning the division, I don't think so. Not right now. Maybe in a year or two. We'll wait and see. But because the other teams are as good as they are, including Cleveland, and because of my hatred for Baltimore, I'm going to go. I think this year Cleveland finally takes the AFC North. I think Cleveland will be the division winner. Maybe not by much, maybe by a game. But I think if not Baltimore, I think it's going to be – I don't think it's going to be Pittsburgh this year. I think Pittsburgh is a good team. But let's face it, Roethlisberger is not what he used to be. He is older now. And I just don't know what the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to show us. So that being said, without further ado, I'm going to go with Cleveland Browns to win the division for the AFC North. Mike, who you got?
Cleveland.
Okay.
I agree with you on Pittsburgh as much as I love Big Ben. I think the clock is dwindling down on him.
I think the watch stopped actually.
Yeah. Baltimore. Fuck Baltimore and their little shitty little running quarterback. I can't stand the little bastard. And we lost Joey again.
We lost him again. Him.
Oh no, I can't stand the quarterback on Baltimore. What's his name again?
Lamar Jackson. What do you like about Lamar Jackson?
I just hate him. It's pure hate.
Like because he's good or
because he doesn't know how to throw a fucking football. He just has to run all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like Colin Kaepernick. He runs good, but he can't throw for shit.
See, that is a very big misconception. That guy could throw. If we're comparing Kaepernick to Lamar Jackson, Kaepernick for sure could throw. I'd even say I think Kaepernick threw better than Michael Vick. Yeah,
I think. I honestly, I never liked Kaepernick, especially because we faced him a couple times in the playoffs, Giants. Anyway, that being said, as far as accuracy and arm goes, I put him. I too put him over Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. At least Vic had some. Let me tell you something. Vic in his, especially on the Falcons, like Vic can run, but no, you know what? Not even on the Falcons. When he
Philly.
In Philly too, when he was throwing some bombs,
dude, he got them to a Super Bowl.
He's got a powerful arm. So I don't know if I put Kaepernick.
Wait, who got?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Didn't Vic?
No, that was McNabb.
Yeah, that was McNabb when Brady.
That was McNabb.
Yeah, that was McNabb.
My bad. I thought it was Vic that got.
No, but even still, Vic's got a deep thread of an arm. So I don't know if I could put Kaepernick over Vic, but I could definitely put, as far as arm goes, arm strength and arm accuracy, I'm going to go with Kaepernick over Lamar.
Yeah,
better throw. We'll never know.
I missed your pick, Juwan, because my internet for some reason just keeps kicking me off today. So
he didn't give his pick yet.
Oh, I
didn't know what we were I was still talking about Cleveland.
Jesus.
Yeah, he didn't finish yet.
Yeah, but I say Cleveland. Yeah, no. Cleveland. Ben is done. Lamar Jackson, who gives a shit? Yeah. Joe Burrow has to prove. It's going to be tight between, I think, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore. I think they got to look forward Pittsburgh and hopefully find another quarterback because Ben's got to retire after this year.
Okay. All right. Juwan, who you got?
Browns.
Yeah.
Very good. And don't forget, Kevin Stefanski, Weiss Crush. Got to go with that too as well.
Gotta remember that.
All right. This one is not such a clear pick. And, you got the NFC South. You got the Colts, who I think are right now, just especially from what they did last year, I think the Colts are the favorite to win the division. But you can't count out the Titans. Now, as much as Jacksonville made this, they got their first round pick. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is enough to propel them up to a possible division winner, even a wild card, honestly. But and with Houston, without Deshaun Watson and a lot of question marks on that team, especially some of the key losses that they have with J.J. Watt and some other people, I don't put Houston in that conversation. So I think right now the only conversation we should be having is who do we think out of Indianapolis and Tennessee is going to be able to have enough throughout a 17-game season now, enough to come on top. So if I had to pick just on performance alone, last year, I would go in Indianapolis. However, another full season of King Henry, if he's healthy, and you got Tannehill, who I think has proven himself a lot more than Carson Wentz has. And as much as I love that Colts defense, I'm going to go with, I think Tennessee is going to take the division this year. That's going to be my pick. I think the Titans take the AFC South this year. Juwan, I'll start with you this time.
Sorry. Easily Titans. Okay. Easily Titans.
Yeah. And for all the reason I said, I'm pretty sure that you're in agreement with that. Yeah. And again, no knock to Indianapolis, but I don't know I really don't know what kind of quarterback we're going to get with Carson Wentz. And Tannehill is very underrated. A lot of people don't really talk about Tannehill that much. I think he's a decent quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is he in a top 5 conversation? No, but maybe top 10. Based on his performance, I can see possibly top 10. Now, you can't include the rookie quarterbacks that they have in this class because they haven't really shown anything. But from what we had last year, I think Tannehill could be in the topic of conversation for top 10. Mike, who you got?
I'm going to go Tennessee because, like you said, I don't know what Carson Wentz is going to do this year. I mean, Jacksonville, yeah. I mean, it ain't like Mac Jones and New England that you can think, okay, they could actually win the division.
Yeah.
I mean, just by going by Trevor Lawrence and a couple of things that's
the only move they made. That's really the only move they made with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I think Ryan Tannehill, like you said, very underrated. He's on that second tier level of top quarterbacks. And I think coming from Miami, that's the whole thing that ruined him. I think he has that Miami stench on him still.
Yeah.
When he was playing for the Dolphins all those years when they were losing.
Yeah. All right. Now the West honestly could be another flip of the AFC East. The West does have some talent. You have Denver. We just talked about Denver because of their matchup against the Giants and the weapons they have. Obviously, you have the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs are always going to probably be the clear-cut favorite to win the division, if not go to the Super Bowl. You got the Raiders, and Mike, I know you're not really heavy on Carr. I happen to think Carr is an underrated quarterback. I think Carr is actually a decent quarterback.
I think Carr's an overrated quarterback.
I know you do, but I actually happen to like Derek Carr. And I think, but the possible fact that they did lose Algalore, and I can't remember who else. I think they lost somebody else this year, but they obviously still have, Walls, tight end, who's a monster. I like him a lot. No, I'm sorry, Waller.
I know what you meant.
Waller. I said Walls. I meant Waller. And he's a monster at tight end. And of course, we have the Chargers in that conversation as well. But I don't see the Chargers really doing anything. This is tough because I want to say Chiefs.
I wouldn't sleep on the Chargers, but I don't.
No, I'm not saying the Chargers are bad, but when you're talking about, and they probably might even come out on top of the Raiders this year. But I just
I
happen
mean, I
to
can
like.
see them going into the wild card.
Okay. All right. Look, right now, as it stands in the AFC in general, the Chiefs are the favorite. You know, either whether it's going to the Super Bowl or even winning the Super Bowl, you can't knock them out until they lose. So with that logic, I think I'm just going to pick the Chiefs to win the West. Not necessarily saying they're going to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, but just for the just for the conversation of who's going to win the AFC West, I'm going to go the Chiefs.
They better win the Super Bowl this year after what happened last year if they get into the playoffs.
Chiefs. Mike, I'll start with you this time.
Chiefs. I mean, I don't even see any other team touching them. I mean, like I said, Denver
can possibly
cannot possibly upset Kansas City and take first place. If you want to talk about wild cards, then the Chargers and Denver can definitely get into wild cards. You're not beating Kansas City this year. They're playing with a purpose now this year, and Mahomes, forget it. He's going to be a beast this year.
I agree with you. I said that too. I agree with you. And the Chiefs have so many weapons too. Mahomes itself is a weapon. I mean, the guy can do on both. Do the same thing on. I mean, do stuff from both sides of the the ball. He can either run it or throw it. But
right,
yeah, and I agree. And Juwan, who you got?
I'm going Chargers.
Okay,
going Chargers.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now look, the conversation of the Chargers, and Mike, you and I said this so many times last year, how much we praise Justin Herbert. I love Justin Herbert. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league right now. I do. And given a full season, especially the weapons that he has, whether it's
now that they got weapons and that defense, so now we got something to work on.
So that's a conversation to be had, and I don't know why I actually put them higher than even Denver too. I think if it's not the Chiefs, it could be the Chargers. I don't know if the Chargers can, but Chargers definitely, if not wild card. I think I don't know if they can win the division. I don't know if they can win more games than the Chiefs are. I mean, honestly, it also has to do with schedule too. When it comes down to it, what other opponents are they going to have versus who the Chiefs are going to play in a 17-game situation? But I can see the argument for the Chargers, especially with Herbert and the weapons that they have on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, remember, though, they still got to play the Chiefs twice in one season.
Right, and that's what?
I think they'll split it. I think they'll split it.
Home and home?
Yeah, I think home and home. I think home and home.
It's definitely going to be a matchup that I'm looking forward to. And again, a lot of praise to Herbert, and no knock to the Chargers. I hope that they do a lot better than they did last year, and I think they can.
No, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I honestly, dude, when I was looking at the Chargers, and that's just because I don't know why. I immediately thought Phillip Rivers, and I was like, yeah, the Chargers don't got nothing. I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, Phillip Rivers was on the Colts last year, and second of all, how did I fucking forget Justin Herbert? So because I immediately dismissed, no, not the Chargers. And I'm like, wait a minute. When you're talking about the Chargers, and I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck am I talking about? So I still think the Chiefs. I'm not taking that. I'm not going to change my pick on that. But the Chargers are definitely going to give the Chiefs a run for their money. And it is going to be interesting to see what they do head to head.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it only came down to, I only fear one of their defenses. And that's 100% the Chargers defense. And I think there are guys that can get after Patrick Mahomes, make him very uncomfortable.
Like Tampa did.
Exactly.
Here's the thing, and Jawan, you're going to catch this show. He won't. Patrick Mahomes is the head of the table, and Justin Herbert will acknowledge him.
Look, I get you. But then when that Brock Lesnar music hits, it changes everything for you.
So you think Justin Herbert's the beast they call it?
I mean, look, they now both got long hair. They both now got long hair. So yeah, I think that music will hit, and we'll have a change of cards.
That's funny.
All right, let's go. Let's move on to now the most pathetic division in the NFL.
The NFC, the NFC least.
This is the division that generated, or I should say, birthed a division
7-9.
of 7-9. I mean, that's just what was it 7-9 or 6-10, Mike?
7-9.
They went 7-9. Okay. I mean, it's honestly up for
grabs.
grabs.
Only reason why is that is because 6-10 would have got us into the playoffs thanks to some great head coaching over there in Philadelphia.
Anyway,
yeah,
I mean, this is a division I don't even want to touch. I mean, I'm a Giants fan. I would love to say the Giants going to win the division.
But dude, we actually me and you went over the Giants schedule.
Yeah.
We actually said if done right, they could win this at 12-5.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of ifs, though. There's a lot of ifs.
But that's before the draft and before that asshole Gettleman didn't pick any.
No offensive line help whatsoever.
So now we got to change our picks.
Look, this is honestly a division that is wide open. The only team I don't see is Philadelphia. Washington with that defense is scary, and of course now with some other moves they've made, and then of course Dallas.
I think Philadelphia is in a rebuilding thing right now.
I do too, and I think with Dallas with a healthy Dak back, and of course if Zeke can be Zeke, it's all about their defense and what they can do. I mean, I want to say Giants. I do, but I mean realistically.
We went, Joe, but we went over the schedule. We said 12-5. They could win the division at 12-5.
We did, but is it really going to be 12-5, or is it going to be 5-12? All right, look, just because this is going to be fuck it. I'm admitting it right now. This is a bias pick. I'm going Giants. I think honestly, realistically, I would actually put Washington ahead only because they show what they can do on defense, and I think even a mediocre offense in this division could do something if you have a really good defense. And that's another thing the Giants can benefit from. They have a really good defense. Their offense is very questionable. So that's why I'm going to go Giants for whatever.
It's not even the offensive questionable. It's the offensive line that is suspect.
Well, that's the problem.
It's not even the offensive general. You got things that could say Quan is back.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Mike, you're going Giants, right? Juwan, you're going Cowboys.
No.
I thought you were going.
Honestly, look.
I thought you were going Dallas.
Look, they could go 12-5, but without the offensive line, I mean, I want to say the Giants, but I'm thinking Redskins. I don't know which way to go on.
No, I'm telling you, I honestly think Washington is. I think Washington is the smart pick. The Giants pick for me has some logic into it, but it's purely emotional. I think the Giants added a lot of weapons.
Logic in it because of the defense. They improved on defense. They improved on weapons for Daniel
but like
Jones.
you said, without protection, what good are those weapons?
And then I'm watching a preseason game, and then the fucking guy's getting sacked 3 times in 2 quarters.
And he threw an interception. The guy played a quarter or a half, whatever he played, Daniel Jones, and he fucking already threw an interception. And he had a touchdown too.
I'm gonna feel stupid if I say the Redskins because I got you going. I just talked you into the Giants.
No, you didn't. I was gonna say Giants just because that's my team, and I'm hoping that with the weapons that they did add and what Gettleman added, I'm hoping we'll make up for the lack of protection. But let's be honest, it hasn't helped the last few years.
And I told you, I don't know why they didn't fire this guy to begin with. I don't know why they. I don't know.
This is the year. So, Jamal, we were talking about
Jamal,
we were talking about timetables, and we were talking about what do we think. This is the year for Daniel Jones. If it's put up or shut up, because if he doesn't do his job this year, obviously barring an injury or it's not his fault. I told Mike this. I'm like, look, if the guy throws 4,000 yards, which I don't think is going to happen, but if the guy's throwing 4,000 yards, throwing touchdowns, but his protection or his defense is blowing games, you can't fault him. However, if he continues to turn the ball over like he does, whether fumbling or interceptions, this is his 3rd year. You got to let him go. And then this is not your quarterback.
I never agree with that. Some guys, it is a long-term kind of commitment you're making with these quarterbacks, and to bring them into a franchise, like, again, this isn't bringing Daniel Jones into New England where you just spend all that money. You got an all-time head coach. You got an owner who gets out of the way. He didn't come into a perfect situation.
No, he didn't.
Where you guys had a a DeAndre Hopkins for him to throw to.
Nope.
And a Khalil Mack on the other side. Like, that's not what he came into.
No, I know. And I've been saying this for years. I know. But now with the weapons that he has, that's why I'm saying is it time to stop the excuses where, he doesn't have any weapons or he doesn't have the protection? Is this the year that we can finally grade him based on himself?
I don't know. I don't know, because look within the division. Dak came in around the same time as Zeke, if not the exact same time as Zeke. So, you paired him up with a great running back, and Zeke hasn't really had injury problems like Saquon's had, nick and knack here and there. And then obviously being out all last year. To me, find him an offensive coordinator that works well with him, a head coach who gets out of the way to allow the offensive coordinator to work with him. And then if he has the season where he's just horrible, but the team is good, then yeah, you got to look at other options. But to me, until that whole team plays well and Daniel Jones is the only problem.
Yeah.
Right now, there is nothing out there right now that is better than what Daniel Jones can be for you guys. If everything else is just better. Offensive line, defense.
I'll tell you one thing if it doesn't work out this year.
Gettleman.
I'll say two things. Gettleman and some guy that wears forest green in the Midwest looks pretty damn good in blue as well if he doesn't want to come back there next year. And I wouldn't mind accepting him with open arms and being in his neighborhood.
I mean, I who would say no to Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know about that happening. All right, but let's just stick to this year now, and whatever. Mike, you never gave me.
You know what?
Okay. You going with the Giants?
They can go 12-5 if the fucking offensive line holds up.
Right.
I'm gonna go. Look, this is just a biased pick. It's my heart. It's my heart talking to me, and not my head this time. I will say the Giants, but if this was any other division, Washington Redskins would probably win the division this year. But as a Giants fan, I'm playing with my heart, not my head. And I looked over the schedule. We went over 5 times. I said 12-5, we can pull it off if there's no issues.
Yeah.
But with this offensive line now, I don't.
Yeah, but having to face Washington and that defense twice, that's scary. And then that's a true testament of what
any of those defensive twice is scary.
No, I know, but Washington has the better defense in that division.
I mean, even with Philly, we could possibly lose 2 games to fucking Philly and be the shittiest team in football. And
Joanne, who are you going with?
Washington.
That's what we figured. I mean, I just feel like right now that is the logical and the non-emotional pick.
So basically, we all agree Washington could win this division, but
yes.
Because me and you are picking with our hearts more than our heads, we're going with Giants. But we wouldn't be surprised if the Redskins, I still call them by their name.
And you have to remind us all the time.
Yep. Because, I don't think a team without a name should be a team. So
I think right now, the reason why I didn't go Washington, though, honestly, and it's not only because I'm a Giants fan, it's just that there is, even though there's a question mark on the Giants side of the quarterback, but I don't know what Washington is going to have as far as a starter goes, as far as what Heineke can do in a full season, if he can carry the team. If it's not going to be Heineke, is it going to be? I know. No, I'm saying if it's not going to be Heineke or Fitzpatrick, what can that team do on the offensive side? We already know what they can do on the defensive side. We already know. I mean, hands down, that is the best defense, I think, in if not in the league, in the division. So that's why I thought Washington could be good, but they also do have question marks on the offensive side. But anyway, okay. Let's go to the NFC North. I'm going Packers. I think that's the clear-cut choice. I mean, not shitting on the Vikings or the Bears, but I'm going to go. I think Packers wins the division. It's Aaron Rodgers. It's the same team as last year, and they nearly made it to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go Packers. Joanne, who you got?
Packers.
Mike?
Packers. I mean, as much as Aaron Rodgers hates playing right now for this team, I don't think he's going to be the type of guy just to lay back and go, fuck it.
No, definitely not. He's got something to prove. He's an MVP last year. He's the reigning MVP.
He's too professional. 2, he has something to prove.
And he's the reigning MVP. Yeah. So
and he has to make up for what happened last year.
I don't even think that, honestly, as much as I do like the Bears and I do want to see them succeed, I don't think the North even generates a wild card this year, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's go forward to the South. I'm going to give it right now. I'm going to give it to the reigning champions. I just think right now with the offensive weapons that Brady has and the additions, or I should say the bringing back that core and the defense that they showed, especially in the Super Bowl, I'm going Tampa for the South. Mike?
I want to say Tampa, but I think Matt Ryan has a lot to prove this year. And I think picking up Kyle Pitts is a good thing. And they made a lot of good picks and they made a lot of changes in the offseason. I'm going to go with Atlanta. I'm going to give Atlanta a shot here. I think they're going to come back from what happened last year.
And a lot of people forget about Calvin Ridley. Ridley, I think I like Ridley better than Julio Jones, to be honest with you.
And I think it'll be poetic if Matt Ryan beats out Tom Brady in the standings to take the South, considering it's 28-3 right now. So,
Huh.
All right, Jawan, who are you going?
Bless you.
Thank you. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. It's just it's the safe bet. It's one of those things to where it's like you got a feeling at some point Brady has to just stop being Brady.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing it with Serena Williams. We're seeing it with Tiger Woods. We're seeing it with LeBron James. At some point, it has to hit.
I agree.
So at some point, you just kind of got to go, Matt, your opportunity will never be stronger than now. So I want to say Matt Ryan, but.
Well, the other thing is, though, too, if you think about it, I think, again, and we talked about that, I think Tom is the greatest of all time. And I think Tom right now is still playing at I mean, he's not on the Mahomes level. And I think even Rodgers is better than him, but he's still up there in the conversation. But even if you took Tom Brady out of the equation, you put fucking Sam Darnold on this team. I think even Sam Darnold gives you, only because of the offense that they have, the weapons that they have. And I'm not saying that you could throw any quarterback in there, but for the most part, I don't think it really even matters if it's Tom Brady or not. You guys think so, or?
Yes. And
you really?
Yes, because we saw the same roster virtually not last year, but the year before.
And let's get. I mean, Jameis had the same fucking team on the field.
Right. Did he really have the same exact team? Didn't they add some?
Yeah. No, it was virtually the same.
You throw out if you throw out what's his name Antonio. What's his name? Antonio.
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. If you throw Antonio Brown in the mix, Antonio Brown in the mix, that offense that Brady was throwing to last year and playing with was the same thing Jameis had when he went 30 for 30.
I didn't say any quarterback. When I said any quarterback, I wasn't talking about Jameis. I wasn't talking about him.
No. I was just saying we have seen any other quarterback in this
with that core on the field.
Right.
And it was Jameis Winston.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, the Brady factor plays in.
All right. Look, again, this is somebody that holds Tom Brady high up on the pedestal. So it has nothing to do with saying, if you take Tom Brady, he really didn't do anything. That's not what I was saying. I was just saying, though, from a division standpoint, and just from the way the Bucs are built, especially after last year, I just felt like, Tom Brady definitely had something, but just whatever. All right. Either way.
Well, look, here's the way I look at it. And I'll use a horse racing analogy.
Okay.
When I'm looking at a favorite, I'm going to try to beat the favorite before I'm going to put my money on the favorite. Now, if I go with the favorite looking at Pat Mahomes in Kansas City, I'm betting the favorite. When I'm looking at this, Matt Ryan, if you look at past performances, except for this past season when they really look bad, he gets them into the playoffs every year. He brought them to a Super Bowl. He almost beat Tom Brady, except for that implosion that they had, defensive-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Matt Ryan could beat out Tom Brady in a regular season thing. I'm not saying it's going to be big. I think maybe they'll beat them by a game.
All right.
So if they go 13-4, I'm going to say they'll go 12-5.
All right. All right, let's move over to the West. Now, my pick is going to be probably not the same as yours.
You're going to go with the Rams.
Especially with Juwan's.
You're going with the Rams.
I mean, I am. I am going to go with the Rams. I honestly think what I do think is going to happen, I think Arizona is going to win the division. However.
Hell no.
However.
Rams, fucking Cardinals are not making the playoffs.
Well,
they're not winning the division. They might make the playoffs, but they ain't winning the division.
I honestly think Seattle's window's done.
I don't know about that.
I think the Seattle's window, I mean, they might still win the division because, I mean, look, what did they do? They went 12-4 last year, didn't they? Right? Didn't the Seahawks won 12-4?
Yeah.
So they won 12 wins even with a bad defense. So as much as I think Seattle's going to be a great team and probably win the division, if not Arizona, because of what they did, the moves that Arizona made, especially that defense, I am going to pick Rams, and I'm going with Rams just because that's what I want to win. Not necessarily I think it's going to win. I really do want to see, and like I said, I've already said this, I think Stafford wasted many years on a really just a bottom of the barrel team, even with Megatron. And I really want to see him succeed. I think he's an upgrade to Goff. I know some people think he's pretty much the same quarterback, but I'm gonna go with Rams, even though I don't know why I said Arizona, even though I think Seattle probably takes it. But I think Seattle's window maybe not be shut, but it's dwindling. And if it doesn't happen this year, it's not going to happen. And I think we actually even talked about that earlier, the stream. But I'm gonna go with Rams. Juwan, who you got?
Seahawks.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to go against Russell Wilson. It's hard to go against that team, especially because they did go 12-4 last year. But again, I went with who I really want to see succeed. And I think right now the Rams can be a team that possibly takes that West. I mean, you can't even really count the 49ers out. I just don't know who's going to be the quarterback. Is it going to be a healthy Garoppolo, which we've never had? Or is it going to be the young Trey Lance because Garoppolo can't?
Well, we had healthy Garoppolo, and it got them to a Super Bowl. But to me, that's not really the bigger issue of that. It's the NFC is drastically better than it was when he went to the Super Bowl that year. He's now got to come through Big Brother if he wants to get to the Super Bowl. You got to beat guys like the Buccaneers, the Packers. I think they beat the Packers that year he went to the Super Bowl.
The 49ers?
Yeah, I think they beat the Saints, the Eagles, and the Packers, I think.
Okay.
I think. So, hey, can Jimmy Garoppolo beat the guy that stopped him from being the future of New England? It'd be interesting. It'd be really
that would be interesting.
It'd be a popcorn game for sure. But I don't know. I look at Russell Wilson and I kind of go, he's kind of got a hold on this till he doesn't. I kind of see it that way.
It makes sense. It does. It does make sense.
I'm just sitting here making faces at you guys like the whole.
What do you got, Mike?
I'm gonna go with. You just started talking about it, Jamal. I'm gonna go with San Francisco.
Okay.
I think this has to be Garoppolo's year because Trey Lance is sitting in the background waiting. Garoppolo has to at least. I think the first 6 games, they got to go 5-1 to keep him on the bench. And he got a healthy defense this year. Hopefully Garoppolo's healthy. They got a good offense. I think they could be this, you said sleepers, Joe. I think they're the sleeper to get into win the division, not even playoffs, the division. Okay. And I like that little long book storytelling that Jawan does with the whole Garoppolo versus Brady theory.
Mm-hmm.
Even Vince McMahon couldn't book that. He'll probably tear up the script 5 times before he came up with that one.
Yeah, he'd find a way.
All right, so it's a 14-game playoff format, so 7-7. You got 4 division winners, and then of course we got the 3 wild card picks. Now in the AFC, we picked out division winners.
Are we doing? Oh, come on! You said we weren't doing wild card picks.
You don't want to do that? All right, you want to just go right to Super Bowl?
Dude, you're killing me here.
All right, just Super Bowl then.
We're here for 2.5 hours. I got a show to do in 2 hours.
You know what? Okay. You know what we'll do then? We did our division winners. Let's save next week. Let's save our wild card, then Super Bowl predictions. We'll do our early Super Bowl predictions next week. Want to do that?
That might be cheating a little bit because we'll have already
seen. Now we already have seen the teams play. Exactly.
All right, so let's do Super Bowl picks. We have to do wild card.
All right. Who you guys got going in the Super Bowl for the AFC?
Kansas City.
All right. I'm going to go Bills. I'm not a Bills fan. My brother's a Bills fan. I really do want to see them take the step above than they were last year. I like the Bills Mafia. I did really get into it. I got into the postseason last year, and I really did want to see them go further. I think Cleveland's another team you got to worry about as well, not just the Chiefs. And even there's just so many AFC. Really, I think the AFC is a really, really good. Has so many weapons and so many good teams on this side of the football. It's really hard to pick the one, but I'm gonna go. The Bills is my another pick where I want them to go. So the Chiefs is the easy one. I think the Chiefs are probably going to be the one that goes. Just like I picked them for the division. But I'm gonna go Bills. Joanne, who you got?
Chargers.
Got Chargers? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Chargers in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not?
No,
it's a bowl. Look, hey, Mike, what was my Super Bowl prediction when we made ours?
Green Bay and I believe it was Tampa Bay versus Kansas City.
Exactly. And I picked the Tampa Bay Bucks to win.
Yeah.
So I not only called the Super Bowl, but I called the winner. So look, bold predictions sometimes make it. And it's the Chargers are good. The Chargers are really good.
It's just, to me, it's as simple as they have a running game.
Mm-hmm.
And they have what I believe can be a great defense this year.
Yeah.
And it's really all you need. I mean, that's just all you need.
Tristan happens to be not in favor of that call. He says that's hilarious. And again, look, it's hilarious, but it's not, because I get it. You think of the Chargers, especially last year. I mean, they were a good team, but they didn't quite live up to whatever. But I think this year,
I want to remind people, the team you guys are wearing on your chest right now,
made
it to a Super Bowl twice by a wild card.
Yeah,
twice going underneath the radar.
No, I'm not denying that. I'm picking the Chiefs because I think Patrick Mahomes is a pissed off motherfucker right now.
No.
And he wants to shut everybody the fuck up.
No, I get that. I was speaking to Tristan, who was laughing at the
because he said so does Cleveland. He was basically saying Cleveland has exactly what you're saying about San Diego. Not San Diego, LA. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But he says Chiefs for sure. Chiefs for sure.
I mean, again, it's the AFC. It's gotten better. It could be a toss up literally anywhere it
really is. I'm looking at
this isn't your father's AFC,
but that's why I didn't mind
where they were just like an honorable mention in the Super Bowl just to go up against the AFC team. It's not like Cincinnati is playing the Cowboys or Cincinnati plays the 49ers. They actually gotten better, and probably of course of Tom Brady and all
but that was years. Another thing that's kind of why I was like, all right, you know what? Let's skip the wild card predictions because I don't even want to do it. I really don't even want to do it. Like you got to give four divisions. Not only the division winner, but now you got to try to pick a wild card. You only got to get 3 wild card spots. That's fucking incredibly hard. Because I'm looking at these teams right now. You got the Titans. You got possibly the Raiders, but I don't know what the Raiders are going to do. You got the Chargers. You got the Chiefs. You got Denver, who's even upgraded. You got Cleveland. You got Baltimore. You got Cincinnati. You got Buffalo. You got New England. How the fuck do you give only 7 playoff spots away?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Easy.
So
Easy. You have Roger Goodell as your commissioner.
No, but you don't. All right, you don't know that. All right. So you guys are going. So you're going Chargers, and we're going to go Chiefs. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going Bills. I'm sorry, and you go Chiefs because I think Chiefs are the smart choice and the safe choice. But are you saying that the Chargers will win the West or what? No, he's saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. This is the Super Bowl pick.
No, I said go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, or
No,
go. I'm sorry,
going
to the Super Bowl. Sorry. That's right, because I didn't say the Bills are going to win. I said the Bills are going.
Right.
Okay. Who do you got going for the NFC? I mean, no team really repeats. It's hard. And I really don't want to count out Green Bay and Rodgers. I really don't.
The last time a team has repeated,
it's been Tom Brady.
Just won.
Yeah.
So, I mean, stranger things have happened.
I know. It's hard. It's hard because I really do think
I'm going to go by what I said last year.
You going Rodgers?
I'm going Green Bay. Look, Mahomes has something to prove, and I think Aaron Rodgers definitely has something to prove. And I'll go with it. And I predict, same prediction I gave you last year, Super Bowl, whatever number it was. Oh no, the first Super Bowl, Kansas City versus Green Bay in the Super Bowl.
Hold on. Tristan says Division 1. Wait, goes. Are you saying the Chargers? Are you? Hold on. Are you? Oh, sorry. He snuck in another comment. That's why. Are you saying that the Chargers will win the West or wild card? And then we said no. He's going to go to the Super Bowl. And then he said division wise. And then are they going to win the AFC West? The Chiefs? Yeah. Oh, you said the Chargers are going to win the AFC. No, wait. Did you say the Chargers are going to win the AFC West?
No.
Chiefs, right?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. He just said that the Chargers are going to do a road warrior like Eli did back in the way.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to catch Tristan up because he probably missed that part. So when we were doing on division winner picks, he did pick the Chiefs, but he thinks that the Chargers are going to sneak into the Super Bowl just like other wild card teams have done in the past. I'm going to go Bucks because there's the age-old saying, until they prove otherwise, until you knock them out, until you knock the champion off, you got to go the champion. And I just think right now the Bucks I've said it too many times in this, they brought the same cast back. It's the same people. You would think you're going to get the same result. I'm hoping to get the same result. As much as the other NFC teams have improved, I just don't know if anybody's improved that much to overtake with the Bucks.
I'm getting a Temptation song in my head right now because of him. It's the same old song.
All right. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks to make it to the Super Bowl for the NFC side. Who you got?
So basically you're picking your same two picks for the Super Bowl from last year, just as I am.
No, I did Bills this year.
Yeah.
You did Bills? Okay. I do want Kansas City. Okay,
no, I did Bills. I think the Chiefs are the smart and the safe bet, but I'm gonna go Bills. And Bucks. Juwan, who you got for the NFC side?
I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Mainly just because I want to see him get another ring. I'm just a fan of greatness. I'm a fan of greatness, and I do believe Aaron Rodgers is the greatest thrower, like just pure throwing talent, not all of the above. Tom Brady covers all of the above.
As a macho man, Randy Savage would say, the cream rises to the top. Oh, yeah.
I think he is, with Dan Marino, as one of the greatest throwers of the football that doesn't get put in the higher echelon. And I think if Rodgers can get one more on his way out, that'll easily force his way into that conversation.
Don't remove that comment.
I'm not.
How was last year's sort of a fluke?
Well, it was. First of all, it sort of was. Think about it. If the Chiefs didn't lose the key pieces that they had, right?
Yeah, but you can't call that a fluke. That's sports. You lose players all the time. All the time.
The Chiefs underperforming the way they did, though, was it more? So my point is, I was going for the Bucks. I wanted the Bucks to win. I wanted Tom Brady to win. So let me put that out of the way. And I do think that the defense did the job that they needed to do. Like you said, they hit the Chiefs in the mouth, and they did it early, and it rattled them to the point where they didn't know how to recover. I've seen Mahomes and the Chiefs recover. We've seen Mike. We've said it how many times where it felt like sometimes Mahomes needed the other team to take a lead before he kicked it into high gear.
It's like a spot.
In the 90s.
It's like you gotta spot them. Like it's kind of like when you bet in the games. If you're taking the Chiefs minus minus 10, you're spotting your opponent 10 points already for the game. That's what Mahomes does.
What he was basically saying is the same thing I'm kind of saying. I know it's football, but the O-line wasn't there, and the Chiefs didn't really play like the Chiefs. But you can credit the Bucs for shaking things up and just playing the defense that they were supposed to do and then throwing the schemes that they needed to. But at the same time, I do want to see, and I would be curious to see what a fully operational Kansas City team could possibly do against a healthy Bucs team. He's basically saying he wants a healthy Chiefs versus a healthy Bucs is what I want to see. And we all wanted to see that. But
we all wanted to see that, definitely.
But that's football.
That's fine, but it's like...
And I wanted to see that because I wanted Mahomes to win the fucking Super Bowl last year.
I mean, that would be like, remember well, I know you guys remember the year, but when Eagles won, Bill Belichick not having Malcolm Butler out there is, Nick Foles is just literally throwing to the water boy and the equipment manager.
The Philly special.
Right.
I
could have easily said that if Malcolm Butler's there, we win that game. But you can't do that because in football, it's not as simple as that. It's as simple as
I hated the Super Bowl. Oh.
I did too. But it's as simple as because again, the Bucs did play the Chiefs earlier that year where the Chiefs put a whooping on the Bucs.
They did. Yeah, I remember.
And again, you know what that reminded me of? Giants playing New England before the playoffs and Giants getting a taste for blood.
I said that a couple of times in a previous stream. In fact, I used it in a baseball talk because I wanted
because you play tough. If you play tough in a loss, you still win.
Because the Giants,
you're still fucking lost.
You learn Giants everything you need to learn, and it's when you see them again. I think the Patriots kind of went down as the Giants had to play up, and them playing up was well than enough for them to get that win.
I do like what he says, and it's true. Brady deserves all the credit, as do the Bucs. I'm not taking anything away from them. It was just a disappointment that we didn't get. So he's basically saying that he just wanted to see healthy teams play healthy teams. And
absolutely. And Tristan, if you were on early when we were talking about this, I even said Patrick Mahomes was running all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
He had nobody to throw to when we were making comparisons to a quarterback where their number one and number two targets are done. They're scrambling all over the place. Patrick Mahomes ran 300 yards or 400 yards worth of field.
Yeah, no, he did. I think it was actually close to 5. I can't remember the next gen stat that they said, but he ran.
Was it
I can't remember, but it was several hundred yards that the guy ran.
Yeah,
just
I'm saying,
all over
if you're running even 400 yards, if you're covering 400 yards of football field, you don't think he was fucking dying out there?
Yeah.
I mean, what Tristan is saying isn't necessarily wrong. I think we all want that. Right. My issue is...
Oh, no, it pissed me off that those two went down.
Right, but my only issue is the word fluke, because it then makes it sound like, well, the only reason Tampa Bay was able to do it was because Patrick didn't have a good enough offensive line. And to me, that's not how you should look at it. But I agree. If both teams are completely healthy, let's see how it looks.
I mean, that's just, and that's what anybody would want to see. Nobody wanted to see the Super Bowl the way it went down. You know, I thought for the most part, we got a good Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong, but it seemed to be easily one-sided. But the O-line thing will always linger in my mind because, quite frankly, even though Mahomes didn't win, he looked, he did. And he was hurried more times than any quarterback in Super Bowl history. And exactly what we're saying. And I also want to thank you for subscribing and also tune in every Mondays as we do Monday Morning Quarterback. We go over the previous day games on Sunday games. And then, of course, we talk about the Monday night game to come. But that being said, I do want to wrap up because we're almost at 3 hours. Joanna, I want to thank you for being our special guest. If you're more than welcome to come on anytime you like. I know Mike is.
Thank you. Actually, am working on a contract right now for Jawan. So Tony Khan just wrote up the contract. Let's gotta look it over real quick, and we're going to talk to Jawar backstage about this.
Jawan, what you added to the stream I got to say, quite honestly, is
was
exactly what we need. I'll tell you, I do know things outside of the Giants. I do follow football. I am a football fan, so I do try to have some type of knowledge of other teams. But you have not only reminded me on several occasions in the stream, but you've added things that I forgot or didn't even know. So for that being said, I like you were an awesome addition to today's stream. So I believe I speak for Mike as well. I mean, you're welcome to come on anytime you want.
Hold on, I'll give him my approval.
But I did enjoy the stream, albeit it was long. I do promise you guys, especially Tristan, not every Monday morning quarterback is going to be this long.
No, this was basically us covering
everything,
the season, covering our picks for the games,
Super Bowl winner.
We would have been done after the picks, but you.
Oh wait, we didn't say Super Bowl winner. Hold on a second. I just realized that.
Crap. Joey, I'm gonna hit you up in private message real fast.
Dude, I just realized something. We never even said the Super Bowl winner.
Go to your private message. Because I can't say this on air.
All right, it's already open. Oh shit, man, fuck. Well,
go ahead, read.
All right, same dude. I'm in the same boat as you. I've been drinking water and coffee. I gotta go to the bathroom too. All right.
Dude, you're not on water pills.
Just say it really quick. I'm going Bucks. Juwan, who you going?
I'm going Chargers.
Bucks. Chargers winner. Mike, Chiefs?
Chiefs.
Okay. Not the Packers?
I want to say the Packers, but I think Mahomes has a lot. I think Mahomes, like I said, Patrick Mahomes is going to be the Roman Reigns of this of football this year. And you will acknowledge your tribal chief.
Okay.
Of Kansas City.
Our Super Bowl winner picks.
Kansas City, Juwan. Kansas City Chief, head of the table, Chief.
I went with the Bills. Juwan goes with the Chargers, and Mike is going to go with the Chiefs.
And then Mike Holmgren will be Andy Reid is the counsel of Paul Heyman over there. So
they kind of
all right, guys.
I got to work out my contract with Juwan. We got to go backstage and talk real quick.
5K, 50 touchdowns. Who's that? Mahomes? Because I mean, that's the only person that can do that.
TDs.
Didn't he do that his rookie year? Like, hasn't he done it?
I think he did that already.
I think Mahomes did that in his sleep. It's got to be Mahomes. I mean, Rodgers can do that too, but
I think Mahomes did that in a dream one time.
Tom's not doing that at 43 or 44. So
no, I think the year Mahomes won the Super Bowl against the 49ers, I think
he did that. Yeah.
You know what, though? I wouldn't be shocked if Brady did do 50 TDs. I'm not saying 5K, but 50 TDs.
Tristan says Mahomes. He can do that. But he had 41, I think, this year, didn't he?
I mean, Brady he's had that stat line before.
That's Brady. That's Brady. Correct me if I'm wrong, Juwan. I don't have anything in front of me. Didn't Brady throw 41 this year?
I think he threw 41 touchdowns. I believe he did. I think he did.
Yeah, something like that. So, I mean, it wasn't that far off, but I don't think he's going 5,000. But all right, Mike, I know you got to use the restroom. I want to thank everybody that supports the channel. Tristan, thank you for subscribing. Joanna, I do want to thank your dad for joining and having the conversation. It's always really good to have conversation, not only with you guys, but also people who are watching, because it adds to the stream. And I want to thank you guys who did comment. Again, stay tuned for next Monday as we do our official Monday morning quarterback, where we go over the actual week 1 that had already happened. Juwan, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. And really, really, again, I can't say enough the knowledge
I'm going to go over the contract, Juwan. Hold on.
The knowledge that you brought here today definitely helps.
Really, I mean, it really refreshing.
Appreciate
even me and Joey, I'm running this, and I just messaged you about this.
But just spit it out.
Okay, but you even know with me, I try to give my best with analysis and numbers and shit. And
I know.
He really was on his game, because even
I fucking forgot Justin Herbert was the Chargers quarterback. I thought Philip Rivers. What the fuck is wrong with me? I did nothing.
Philip Rivers was playing for the Colts.
I know that.
Year.
I did nothing but praise Herbert last year. We talked about Herbert.
We did. I even said he's going to be a Super Bowl contender in 3 years.
I was just talking to Juwan about Herbert last night.
And you were right. Brady went 40 of 12.
Okay.
40 TDs, 12 picks.
All right, so it was 40, but I knew it was in the 40s.
And how many yards? How many yards passing?
It was
I got it right here. Sorry. Actually 4,633.
Yeah.
So Brady could still.
Yeah,
Brady
he
could
almost
possibly
made it.
do 50-5 as well.
Yeah, and he threw touchdowns.
Honestly,
10 in the postseason, right?
yeah, I was gonna say this. Honestly, except for 2016, he averages 4,000 yards.
Yeah. And 10 touchdowns in the postseason?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Something like that, either 10 or 9. I knew something. It's
Gronk, I know, had 2 or 3 in the Super Bowl alone. Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Again, like I said, stay tuned for next Monday for our Monday Morning Quarterback. Thank you guys for coming on, and enjoy the rest of your Labor Day.